Today, we talk about...
All right.
Sorry, what's your name again, man?
Neko White, bro.
Neko?
Nice
All
to
right,
meet
what's
you.
up?
You look familiar.
Yeah, you
There's somebody. If I haven't seen you before, there's somebody running around with your face.
That's racist.
It's the truth. I didn't say they were white. I just said they had your face.
Black guy, you know.
Yeah.
Boom. Welcome back. This is episode. I have no clue. We're still way behind on the edits. I've had mad comics coming through here, so we'll figure it out when I put in the title.
This is episode 0 right here.
This is the first one.
Mm-hmm.
We got a special guest in the building. Introduce yourself, my man.
My name's Zach.
Oh, Zach, that was perfect. That was perfect time, and he hit me. I'm Neko White, stand-up comedian, and very, very happy to be here on you guys' podcast. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you coming, man.
No doubt.
I met you at Comic Strip Live a few weeks back. You were headlining the show there, and I was shocked to hear that you've been doing this since your teen years. So why don't you give us a little background? Because you said you're 25.
Yes.
But you've been doing this since 15, if I remember correctly?
14.
14.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So I'm hold on, let me make sure this is off because I'm gonna post that later. So I've been doing stand up since the first day of high school, as a matter of fact. You know what I mean? I started September 14, 2007.
So you were the jerk in the class.
No, I wasn't. I was never that guy, and that's a misconception I think people have about like stand-ups. I was never the kid that was the class clown.
Okay.
You know, I was always friends with the class clown. And funny enough, the kid that was class clown, my best friend to this day, Rodney, who was with me the night that we met.
Okay.
We the first day of school, I learned that Rodney was funnier than me conversationally. And I didn't know what to do because like I'm not the best looking dude, you know what I'm saying? My in with
Cute.
girls, thank you, bro. But like my in with girls was usually like I'd make them laugh and then forward something from that. So first day of school in orientation, I noticed every time Rodney would say something, the girl that I liked would crack up. And then when I'd say something, she'd be like, so yeah, Rodney, what was you saying? So I didn't know like what to do. I was like, oh shit, I'm never gonna get laid in high school.
Right.
So the next day, the first official day of class starts, and at the end of the day, Miss Richardson was like, does anybody have a talent they want to share with the class? I had never done comedy. I never thought I wanted to do comedy. I always thought I was going to be a teacher.
Wait, was this like English class or like
advisory class? Advisory class.
Advisory class.
Yeah.
So like homeroom?
Basically, something
Yeah.
like that.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
So it's the end of the day. School's about to be over. She says, does anyone have a talent? And this girl named Esther went up and sung a song. And as I'm sitting there, I'm listening to Esther, something in my head said, yo, go tell jokes. I tried it, and it worked. And I've been doing comedy every day since. I've never worked a standard job, you know what I mean? I've only ever made money doing stand-up or stand-up related things. And, knock on wood, it's how I make my living.
Yeah. I was going to say, because
Cool.
you had that YouTube clip you sent me of I was about to say Life of an Open Micer.
Mm-hmm.
Like you were actually doing sets at some of the more premier spots, and you're like showing the life of a young comic up and coming.
Oh, one mic. Yep.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and
Actually, before you get to there, because I feel like we don't do this. How do we know him?
I just said I met him at Comic Strip Live.
Oh.
he has a listening problem.
It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all
But
good.
anyways.
Ooh.
Yeah. Anyway, so I was watching it, and I love how Donnell Rollins was on there from Chappelle's show. Mm-hmm. I'm sure you don't remember.
That's the Eddie Murphy bit, right?
He was that's Charlie Murphy.
This guy.
Yeah, he's a riot himself.
Yeah.
Recently got him to try to start doing some stand up over the
Oh, I
past
believe
few
that.
months. So
Yeah, 100%. How'd it go?
I've
Rough
done
the
like,
first
I've
time.
done like first time I picked off for being misogynistic.
Oh, okay.
I've probably done like 12 sets.
Oh, okay.
Getting
Gotcha.
better. I'm like I said before, we talked about this a lot today, but I'm trying to get to a G-rated thing.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
Dope,
Because
dope.
his goal is to do the open mic at the Red Lobster in Harlem. That's
Yeah.
what he's trying to do.
I'm all for it.
So no. So
Yeah, I'm excited for it
I have
too.
some.
Yeah.
I have some like R-rated stuff like in my head.
Yeah.
That I can like rail off
Uh-huh.
like for a crowd. But like I'm really right now trying to master just the G-rated stuff.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. By all
Because
means,
it's different.
bro.
Yeah.
Yes, and not a lot of people are mastering the G-rated stuff.
Yeah.
So
Well, PG. we'll
PG,
say.
right? But I mean, even that is an art. In
Not
itself.
talking about my date, not
hard
talking
to
about my
do.
girlfriend's clit, like you know, just like being very like, just fun.
Yeah, 100%.
Disney.
I'm
kind of
with
stuff.
it.
Yeah.
Because what impressed me about you is not only the age you started, but the fact that like just in such a short time in, you were already doing spots at major clubs and
Yeah.
stuff. So what was that experience like? Like, how long of a time did you spend at open mic scenes. Where was this high school, by the way? What state?
Bronx High School for Right Communication Arts, so right here in
right here.
New York. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm a New York kid, so
Gotcha,
I
okay.
was raised in. My mom had an apartment in the Bronx, and we would always go to my grandma's house in Harlem. And we moved in with my grandma because she had got older and she was gonna move in with us, but she had a stroke and she didn't get up the stairs. We didn't have an elevator in the building.
Got it.
So mom's on some gangster shit, dropped everything, the job and everything, take care of her mother for 12 years. So yeah.
That's noble.
Yeah, I mean, she's a home health aide now. So yeah, I feel like that played a big part in it too.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But when I started in school, so I was able to do comedy and build up my confidence in school.
In school, yeah.
So you think about if I'm doing 3 times a week, right? And I'm doing anywhere from 10, and sometimes Richardson will give me like the whole period.
When you say in school, though, I mean, what does that look like?
So-
like, I mean, I'm saying, like, was it like a theater arts kind of class? that you
No,
took, or-
so it was advisory class. So the way advisory worked is there would be a group of kids, maybe about 20 of us in the classroom, right?
Uh-huh.
And I would stand up where the blackboard was and do my stand up.
in front of other people that were was it like an open mic?
No.
like everybody
In
else
front of
was
his
waiting.
classmates.
I was the only one
No,
performing.
no. I know in front of his classmates, but I mean, were those other classmates like waiting to perform as well?
No. It was just me. It was literally just me performing. So I would go on and I would do any amount of time. Like if Ms. Richardson had.
Who were the classmates?
Oh God, the people I was. In
Well,
school
I mean,
with.
but I'm saying, like, okay, so just to help me understand this.
Got you.
All right, so you are in stand-up, right? It's public school, right?
Mm-hmm.
Went to public school myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're up there, and you're like, all right, I'm going to do stand-up.
Mm-hmm.
Who brings the students into the
They're
classroom?
already there.
Yeah, but for what? What class are they taking?
Advisory.
What's advisory?
We just talked about this. It's like a homeroom, you were saying, right? It's like a homeroom period?
So-
I don't
Right.
get it.
Well, allow me to regale you. So, I've never had this hard time explaining advisory class to somebody.
Well,
So-
I went to the same high school as him. He hates
Right.
that to admit that, but
Uh-huh.
but yeah, we didn't have advisory. I've never heard the term advisory.
Right. So advisory class was the last period of the day, right? So half the kids would have gym, the other half would have advisory for 2 or 3 days a week. Then they would flip. You'd have gym 3 days a week, you have advisory 2 days a week. So I started out in advisory class and happened 3 days a week, right?
Mhm.
So the advisory class was again 20 kids. Go to the advisory room. Whoever the advisor was, Ms. Richardson was our advisor, right? So we do some lessons. She'd do a lesson if she had one, and then if she didn't, it's like a chill period. So I'd get that time. So I'm going up in front of my classmates for about anywhere from 10 to at most the whole class period.
How long is the period?
Perform 45 minutes.
45 minutes, okay.
Right.
But that's so crazy to me because, like, what if I play guitar, right?
Mm-hmm.
What if I went up and I was like, I'm just gonna do a solo?
Well, it wasn't nobody else had anything that they wanted to present.
Okay,
like that.
so it was like,
A.
okay.
And B, I'm sure if somebody did, they could have done it, but
That's actually wicked cool.
Yeah,
That your
it's
school
dope
offer that.
yeah, I mean,
Like it was like, it's literally like a theater arts to be like, all right, if nobody wants to do anything, you guys have to sit here for 40 minutes because, like, you know, your parents are at work.
I don't
and like
think,
come up here and present.
yeah, I don't think that every advisor was doing that though. This is
Yeah.
in particular Ms. Richardson
So,
that
okay.
did this with her class.
So how do you transition this to, okay, I'm getting pretty good at this. Let me start going
So
to some
again,
open mics.
Miss Richardson. So she was like, "Have you ever gone to an open mic night?" And I was like, "What the fuck is that?" Because I thought Martin and all the guys that I looked up to at the time, I thought they went to school. I thought you had to go to school to do what they
okay.
did. And she was like,
Stand-up college.
Right, basically. So she was like, no. She said open mic nights where you probably go to a comedy club and you go on stage and see if they like you and see if they can use it. I said, okay, fine. So I didn't have Wi-Fi, I didn't have a laptop or anything like that at the house. So I went to the Children's Aid Society around the corner from me and I Googled open mics in New York City. So that was a Monday. I seen on Tuesday they had Hot Comedy Club and on Wednesday they had Stand Up New York. Mm-hmm. So next day, I seen it said $5 for 5 minutes, so I took $10. So I was like, community property, it's $10 for 10 minutes. Because I was used to doing it like at least 10 minutes. So when I say I was able to build up my confidence in school, I got to know that I was funny. Because a lot of times if you start straight on New York comedy open mic scene, ooh, your confidence is going to grind.
Yeah.
Because it's just you and a bunch of comedians for most of the time.
We talked about that in length. Yeah, we're like if you go to open mic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody cares.
That's not true.
No. I'm not saying that's not true, but I'm saying like people will like
Yeah.
That's what you'll get.
Yeah,
You're like,
you
all right,
might-
this will kill it like a regular set.
Yeah.
I think it's impressive the fact that you were able to do it in front of like high school kids that you went to high school with.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's the hardest, because like there's a lot of connotations.
There's a lot of connotations, but
Well, I mean, they're like, who is this guy? Who are you friends with? I mean, high school is a tough.
right. But see,
Ball game.
this is the beauty of it. I started first day of high school. So because it started first day, that was
you
my
know, is that
identity.
your thing?
That was my identity
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
immediately, right? So I'm the most popular kid in the school, in the building. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
But that's after. So I started doing the open mics. First mic I can go to at Ha. I had never bombed before, right? Especially not like this. So
Welcome to the club.
I go up and I walk up to Cisco and I hand him my $10. Said, "Hey, so that means I get 10 minutes, right?" He's like, "No, you get 5."
He's like, who the fuck are you?
Right, you get 5. Give me the 10.
5 still
You
isn't
get
good.
5, and sign the list. So I'm number like 22. HP is hosting it. God bless him. And I'm the only one in there laughing, right? Because I found everything funny. I'm not.
Yeah,
It's
if
not
you're new. Yeah.
Not even that. I'm in general. I'm not a hard guy to make laugh. So now I'm about to go on, and I'm like, well, they ain't laughing, but fuck it. When I get on, I'll change it. I go on, and every joke is dying. And my closer at the time was about my cousin taking a shit in my toilet and not flushing. So I said, okay, if all else fails, I'll do that. And in my mind, I was like, okay, if I do the open mic and I do it right and I do a good job, then I'll retire. Right? Right. I'll retire. So I go and I go up and I say, all right, I'm gonna hit my last joke. I hit the punchline and the response I got was, ha! Got off stage. So I felt bad, but I was like, okay, it'll never be that bad again. And I kept doing the mics, did my shows at school. Me and my boy Rodney, we would do a special show once a month where during lunch, you go upstairs, get your lunch, come back down to the classroom, and we do our thing, hosted all the talent shows, all that type of shit. And then I would do like the open mics in the urban rooms, and I started doing shows. So I started doing the mics at Ha and Stand Up New York. And then eventually I hosted the mic at Stand Up New York for a little bit. And, you know, fucking I would always ask do shows. I did the Metro Transit show at Broadway, and that led to a couple more shows in the hood rooms. Kept doing the hood rooms, kept doing the mainstream clubs, hood rooms, mainstream clubs. I met Donnell at Laugh Lounge. I did the Laugh Lounge. My God, so much. So I would do Laugh Lounge, and my friends would have independent shows inside comedy clubs. I'd go do those. That would get me passed at the club. I've been passed Stand Up New York since I was 16. I got passed there.
That's
How old are
impressive.
you now?
I'm going to be 26 in like a week. So I grew up in comedy clubs.
Yeah.
The first time I went to Caroline's, I was doing a guest spot for Donnell Rollins. Have you been to Caroline's yet?
Not yet.
Okay, so
It's right around the corner. Right?
you should go. Like your favorite comedian will probably be there soon.
Yeah.
So it's a huge
Me.
Yeah. So Caroline's is a huge club, and I didn't know that, right? So my biggest room I've been in front of maybe 150 people. So I go and I go down the stairs and I tell the lady, I'm like, hey, I'm on the show tonight. She says, oh, okay. So I'm thinking the area where people are congregating, I'm thinking that's what the show is because I'm used to doing, the urban room. So I'm like, all right, well, where's the stage? She said, you're cute. Go in the back, make a right. So I go to the kitchen and instead of making a right, I make a left. And I go to walk into the green room. I see it says down there around. So, okay, cool. So cool. This is where I'm supposed to be. So I go up, put my stuff down. Kenny comes in. Kenny used to be the manager at Caroline's. He's like, I don't know you, and I don't know if Donnell knows you. I can't have you sitting in this green room, which is fair enough. And he brings me out to the showroom, and I could have fucking fainted because I didn't know a comedy club could be this big. Seats 400 people, and Donnell sold out that night. And to see that shit empty, it's like, okay, this is not a game now. I'm here. Oh, good. And I go up. I had 2 shows with him. I'm doing like the guest spot, little 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And first show I do okay. I was nervous. I do okay. Second show I ripped. And, stuff like that. That turned into, I've been to Caroline since that point. And so on and so forth. The other clubs that I grew up in New York comedy clubs. You know what I mean?
Do you have a favorite?
I love most of them for different reasons. Like, you talk about Kill Box. Caroline's is packed out. Killbox. Gotham, same
Yeah,
thing.
Gotham, right? Is Gotham, because I have been to Gotham, but not Carolina, are they similar size?
Yeah.
Okay.
About, I don't know which one's bigger. Whichever's bigger is probably only about like maybe 50 seats.
Okay.
But they're both huge.
But like about that space.
Yeah, they're both like the.
What's
A
your,
plus headline club.
Oh, hold on. Alexa, lights on. Boom, all right, just in case.
I was like, she's gonna be like, fuck yeah, king at the dinner.
Sorry, what were you going to ask?
Yeah, no, I was asking. So, what's your type of comedy do you do? Because I haven't seen you.
So I do personal analysis along with social commentary, as well as observation.
Are you like an edgy guy, or you think you like
Yeah.
kind of toe the line and like
I think
introspective?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think you can tell a lot about me by my opinions that I have through the material. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the line is, I think I walk the tightrope pretty well.
Well, how do you come up with your jokes?
A bunch of ways. So I'm a people watcher, that's first of all, and I like to think that I'm a deeper thinker. So I'll have something in my head and I'll beat a topic to death. You know what I mean? And I don't like a lot of things. Like most of my stuff comes from how I feel about something. I'll say I like, I hate, whatever. You'll know my emotion from how I'm speaking on it, right? If I think something's stupid, I really do think it's stupid. I'm not just saying anything on stage. And I'm telling stories, when I do tell my stories, about things that I've seen or things that I've witnessed. You know what I mean? So, actually, no, I just said the same thing twice. But, yeah, so that's how I come up with stuff.
So, do you think you're like, do you push like, so kind of like the last that you try to go for? Is it more like you're trying to relate to the audience, or you're trying to be more of a shock jockey?
No.
Or do you try to like get them into your head and
It's,
then like take them through the journey?
I don't know. It's deep. So if I had to analyze it, I would say what I'm trying to do is make you feel what I'm feeling, right?
Okay, so you try to put them in your head,
I want
and
you
then
to
take them through the journey.
Right. I want you to take my perspective, and I want you to realize that I think I'm right.
Right.
Okay? Now, no matter how you feel, no matter what emotions you have, even if you disagree with me, I'm right. Because in this forum, as I stand here, here's my points, and I prove my points through the joke, right? I feel this way, and here's my justification of why I feel that way, and that's the jokes. And then I like to talk about shit where it's like, you ain't want to laugh at that, but here you are.
Do you, and this might be offensive.
I hope
And
not.
let me know. Well, let me know, because, no, I want to ask you, do you feel like you play off race a lot? Because as a black comic?
There's no such thing as playing off race.
Well, do you feel like, okay, so then you're gonna say yes, but I mean, do you feel like race is like a basis of a lot of your comedy?
It's a
like your experience as a black man.
Mm-hmm. But I think it's less my experience as a black man, just more my perspective as
A black man.
as somebody who my perspective is gritty, right? And my perspective isn't necessarily black as much as it is. If you grew up in proximity to where I grew up, you'd feel this way too. Now, you add in being black and everything else, it's definitely in the act. But it's more me telling you, okay, this is the things I see and this is why it's true. So to answer your question, race comes up a good amount in my set.
Okay.
But
yeah, I mean, I don't care either way.
Oh, I know.
I was just curious. I was just curious. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just
So
saying.
you do use being like a black New York guy as a basis to a lot of your experiences that you perform on stage.
Nah, I would say because that goes without saying because I am this, right? So whether or not I don't say like as a black dude a lot in my set, but my stuff is definitely very pointed because of how I am and where I came from. But I don't think that has as much to do with being black as much as it has to do with being from where I'm from.
Right. Yeah.
I'm a project kid.
Do you have the same perspective?
Sorry, where?
I mean, I don't want to tell.
No. I mean, Bronx, Brooklyn.
Oh,
Queens,
I'm from
Staten Island.
definitely not Staten Island. I'm from the Bronx and Harlem.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
In your documentary, you were mentioning, and this is again like you made it at what age?
I'm what? Oh,
The
14. One
documentary.
of these when you started.
No, the documentary.
One mic. We made that when I was 17.
When you were 17. So when you were 17, recording that interview where you were like, when I'm up there, I feel like I'm the king.
Yeah.
Do you still have that
Oh,
perspective?
100%. Because I'm the only one talking.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I get to lead you to wherever we're going.
Okay.
Right? Now, you might like where we're going. You might not like where we're going. But you still have to go there.
So do you bask in any bombs that come your way nowadays, or do you embrace it? Like, what's your attitude if you're not doing well?
I embrace it, bro, because I'm a whole professional now. So I make my living. So it's like it's not happening a lot,
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I figure it's not.
And when it does happen, it's like, well, you got to understand why it happened, and there's a way to bomb. You have people that bomb and like hate the audience. Can't really be mad at you. It's not your fault,
right?
Unless you did something that like contributed to my bad set. But I don't see what you can really do. Like one guy had a seizure. I was gonna be mad at him, and I didn't even bomb. It was a great set, and I felt bad for the guy.
Right.
But it's like I get to control that, and I know that it isn't the norm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my reputation, most people know that it's not the norm. So I get to relax on that kind of stuff these days.
Gotcha. How often are you performing? Are you performing literally every night?
I mean, I get up about at least 10 times in a week.
10 times a week.
So it might not be like tonight I'm off, right? But tomorrow I have, 3 shows, right? Day after that I have the same amount. Day after that I think I have 4.
Okay.
It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah. And then last night I had 2. That was Monday. That was Tuesday.
It's
Monday,
like a typical week for you?
Yeah. I do about 40 shows in a month.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that's usually I round it up.
What's your thoughts on festivals, comedy festivals?
I like festivals. I did Montreal, and that's amazing. It's like a comedy prom.
The Just for Laughs?
Yep.
Yep.
It's like comedy's prom. Everybody gets, you get not dressed up, but you get prepared to do something that's important and go out. The parties are great. You know what I'm saying? Everybody seems like they
Montreal's your town, I mean. Fuck.
Yeah, Montreal's a great. The only thing I didn't do,
Yeah.
I didn't go to the strip club or anything like that.
St. Catharines?
Yeah, I didn't go.
Yeah. All right.
But I did have the food is great, the ambiance is great, and there's a bunch of people that really do love comedy.
So I want to bring this back. So you have a documentary that you did?
Boy, if you put your finger that close to my face again, that shit was so off-putting. It was I felt like I was Iron Chef versus Hulk Hogan, nigga.
You. No, but you had a documentary you put out?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so
YouTube.
A friend of mine did it. He was
Sorry again.
It's so good. I thought that was a dog. It was a film project.
Them here.
It was a film project a friend of mine did for his graduation. So he went to Buff State, I want to say.
Like Buffalo?
Mm-hmm. And he was a film major. And making this documentary was his exit project. His name's Ricardo Herrera. And he reached out to me. He's like, yo, you want to be a part of this documentary? I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. And it was my first video out on YouTube. I was excited as hell. And it's even inspired a couple of comics to move to the city. One of them in particular, who I really respect, a guy named Chike.
What was the premise of the documentary?
Just, I'm 17 years old, I'm 3 years into comedy, and just like following me to see how I think about stuff now. We had a couple of interviews with people that knew me.
Was it from like going from Buffalo to New York kind of thing?
It was just like a night in the life type of thing.
Right.
In New York.
Yeah. As a comic.
So they followed me around. They shouted me over to Laugh Lounge, shouted me to Broadway, shouted me to Stand Up New York. They'd ask me how I feel about sets and all that type of stuff. So wherever my mind was comedically then, it just shows that.
Oh, cool.
You know what I mean? Like, this is right before I have to make the decision of, are you going to college or not going to college? Yeah. I chose not to. I never was going to go to college.
Yeah.
I never wanted to. So just that perspective, my thoughts on like people who go into comedy for acting purposes and stuff like that, which I hate. It's like, if you want to do this, and if you don't.
Yeah. Was your mom mad that you didn't go to college?
I pay the bills.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm
but
saying?
at that time, though,
I pay the bills. So I can't say that she was. You know what I mean? I know she wanted me to go to school, but I don't think she was mad because they didn't know I was doing comedy. They didn't know I was doing comedy. So when they saw me, I killed. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So they knew I didn't suck at it. So they knew there was I had a proclivity for it. Right. And then I didn't have to ask them for money. That's how I made my money. And it's how I paid whatever my bills were and helped out around the house, right? And as I got older, your bills get more. You hope the money gets better, and as such, happened to happen. So, wasn't too much they could say when I graduated. They were just like, "Going to do it, go hard."
Yeah, because by then you'd done it 4 years already. So
right, and I'm talking 4 years, and you had the first year where it's like, so if out of 180 days, in school, I probably perform 100 of those days in school, and then you add on when I started doing the open mics, I spent $2,000 on open mic.
Jesus
so
Christ.
you take 2,000, you divide that by 5, and that's what I did in a year. Right.
Wow.
That's how many times I got up on stage.
I mean, that's dedication. I mean,
This guy gets tired after 2 open mics a week. He's like, oh.
Oh
yeah.
God,
No, it's not that. I work.
Yeah.
I get tired.
No, I hear that, but it's like
No. I know he's being
I'm not.
ridiculous.
I'm not
Yeah.
comparing you to. I'm just saying,
Dude,
like
Creek in the
that's
Cave
what it
is-
takes,
it's-
man.
No,
That's-
but Creek in the Cave is free. I go there whenever I
No,
want.
I get it.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
So now to that end, right? Even that, because I never had much sympathy for people that work 9 to 5 jobs. And I'll tell you why. I don't
I
have.
don't work 9 to 5.
Oh, you don't? When you
No,
work?
I quit. I quit that.
Oh,
I
wonderful.
used to work for
Congratulations.
investment bank. Yeah. I
Gotcha.
quit. I quit about a month ago.
Good, man.
Now,
I'm happy for you.
now I just work at I bartend and I work at a barn.
Great. Fucking people that have
Yeah,
9 to
it
5
is.
jobs that complain about this, because it's like you get to control this.
Right.
You know what I mean? You get to do
Yeah.
as much as you want, as little as you want, and you don't depend on it for your living. And if you don't depend on it for your living, you have something else that supplements it, especially if it's something good. It's like, okay, so you have the freedom to live your dream.
Yeah.
You don't have to do anything.
Yeah, there's less pressure.
So I get bothered by some of my friends who work 9 to 5s and then complain about comedy. It's like, dog, I'm doing 40 shows a month. It's a paid act. If I was still doing free shows, I could do 100 shows in a month. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't need to do one thing to make sure everything else is taken care of,
Yeah, right.
I could do all the shows.
Yeah, man. I mean, I literally quit my job. I picked up a bartending shift.
Mm-hmm.
Been doing really well with that.
Yeah.
And and then I work at a barn.
Mm-hmm.
I volunteer
Mm-hmm.
at 6 a.m. 3 days a week
Right.
out in Forest Hills in
Right.
Queens. I do that.
But it's like you said, things
But
you
no.
brought up.
But what I'm saying is, I'm going to leave this fucking city.
Of course.
Yeah,
But
because
see,
you can't. No, I just see the comedy thing as like a thing to do.
right. But see, the thing that you said that I found interesting was that, it's like, I'm tired. It's like, you were going to be tired anyway. You feel me?
Yeah.
You are going to be tired anyway. So it's like my friends that,
But it's the difference between tired, mentally or like physically.
Yeah.
Like working in a barn, you're tired physically,
Yeah.
right? Working in bartending, you get tired a little mentally, but you're not really. Working at a soul crushing investment bank.
yes. Oh, bro.
Like you just get out, you're just like, everything sucks.
Right, but
it's
see-
completely different tired.
True.
Yeah.
But see, what
So-
this calls for, though, and this is what I mean when I say the people that are taking it serious, what this calls for is it doesn't matter. Because you were going to have to work that job. If you went to school to work that job, and that's the job that you chose, or that's the job that picked you, and you needed to pay your bills need to be paid regardless, no matter what you're doing, right? And in order to pay those bills, you have to do those things. And once you find this, if you find this, and this is anybody that's considering doing stand-up, right? Once you find this, only you can. There's only a couple things to control. You can control your work ethic. You can control the type of person that you are. And you can control your location. That's it. Now, nobody can say what's hard work and what's not, because I think if you come from, like you said, that soul-crushing place, and then you go right into an open mic or something like that, it's more soul-crushing, right? But if you can stick it out through that shit and get through it and find because for some people, working hard might be getting up 5 times in a week, right? For some people, it might be hard work to get up twice. But if you could do that and keep doing that and figure out what success means to you, and only what success means to you, because people have this warped idea that success means, I got to be Kevin Hart. Plenty of successful people that aren't Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
There can only be one of those. There can be a lot of people there's people that would kill to be in the position I'm in.
Right.
And I'm looking at the position I'm in going, whew, I can't wait till I get to that.
and I think it's that. No, I think that's a really good point to make because, the exact same thing. Like one of the reasons I got out of the corporate world was I was looking at 45-year-olds, right?
Yeah.
They got a wife.
And
married.
they're miserable.
They got a wife. They're miserable.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, I gotta commute 2 hours from Westchester. I can't. They're making $400,000 a year, but they're like, they're still like paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
If they lose their job, the hell are they gonna do? Go to the Bronx? No.
Right.
It's a trap.
Yeah.
The whole corporate thing is a trap.
Yep.
It's a trap.
And it's
So,
all a
like that-
choice,
No, it's a choice, but no, people get suckered in.
No,
the
no,
choice.
it
They
wasn't.
get suckered in.
It was a lie. It's not that
It's
it's
a
a
lie,
choice. It was
yeah.
a lie. You were told that you'd get this type of thing for this type of work, and you
Yeah.
got. And look, a lot of people I know that go to school and stuff like that.
Dude, I was in corporate for 10 years.
Yeah,
I
but
worked for
did
Goldman
you-
Sachs. I was killing it.
Oh, you
I was
were the
making-
enemy.
Yeah, no, I know, but I'm saying I was making good money. But I was looking at
course.
people that were there for so long,
Well,
and it's like they're all miserable.
they're
why?
all-
what's my goal then?
They're all miserable, but here's the other part is that when you go into jobs like that, because I know a lot of people that work in the standard 9 to 5 to supplement being able to do comedy, right?
Yeah, it's 8 to 10.
And the thing about it is that I find that hurts me to see happen to some people is that these people don't want to see you have dreams. They kind of want to correct, like what you were saying in the corporate world, them being miserable. You know how annoying your dreams are? You know what I'm saying to them?
Tell me about it.
You know how,
like back when you was working that, and I was like, yo, I'm doing comedy. He's like,
you know
what?
I left, right? Because I was like, yeah, this
No, I'm
is
saying
stupid.
before that. I'm saying
Yeah.
But they'll turn you into they'll pull that whimsy out of you.
You become a
make
pig.
you a good person. Yeah.
You're a pig.
It's like that Japanese anime where those people were eating and
It's like an
all of
anime
a
guy,
sudden, all of a sudden they turned it, like you said, they turned into pigs.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, I need to save them. It's like, yeah, but
Animal Farm.
Is that what it was called?
No, that's the book, Animal Farm, where the pigs keep rewriting the rules.
Yep.
And the pigs start to look like humans.
Yep.
I mean, that's all it is. Like, this city traps you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I totally agree
Well,
with you.
no, you don't totally agree because you get to go out and work.
But I made those choices, you know what I mean? I told myself I'm not.
Nobody's like coming at you for that, but you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the other thing about it that I've had, because I've had this argument a bunch of times. There's people that don't look at what I do as work, and the reason that bugs me is because it's like, first of all, just because I don't work how you work, don't mean that.
She say yes?
Huh?
She say yes?
No. Because I don't work how you work doesn't mean you get to downgrade how it is I make my living, right? And you don't get to downgrade the way that I feed my family. The same way that you need to feed yours, I need to feed mine. And you get the perk of knowing your check is coming as long as you show up. I don't know that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So don't play with me.
But I don't know that they know that. You know
I've
what I
always,
mean?
No.
yeah, I've
No.
always taken huge exception to that. Very huge exception.
Well, I think if you're over the age of like 28, everybody starts to be like, all right, everybody's doing what they're doing for a reason. Under that age, people might judge each other. Like 24-year-olds that come here, they're like, "Oh, I work for Goldman. Oh, I work for City," and the Goldman people are like,
Yeah, people get
"You're
stuck in
for
their
City."
ways, too,
Yeah,
past
yeah.
that
No,
age.
but I'm saying but after now, like, dude, I get tipped. I'm a bartender, and people are like, "Why are you bartending?" I was like, "Oh, I quit."
Who's asking you that?
A lot of people.
Really?
They're like, yeah, because I used to work at a bank.
I mean,
So,
they can
like,
ask you. They're probably genuinely curious. You know?
Yeah, they're just like, why are you doing this? And I was like, I hated it.
But it's different for him because, like, he's been known, like he said, since day one of high school.
Yeah.
This is what I do.
No, but no, I think that's more different because
it's very different.
my stories are like, why are you going back?
That's my point because
Right.
and I'm like, I'm not going back.
Right.
I'm going to what makes me happy.
See, now you get that. What I get more so of, and the argument that I'm talking about happening is that when you have people that work in the professional standard job world, they'll say shit to me like, "Oh, well, you've never worked a real job, bitch. My bills was really good."
So I came from that world of pure, like, just checks, guaranteed income, blah blah. I mean, I'm still kind of part of that world, right?
Yeah.
But then I started to transition into YouTube, more creative stuff, because me and him went to the same tech school, science and math background, right?
Yeah.
So when I started doing comedy, and I'm doing like 2 to 3 open mics a day, people are looking at me like, did he just say he's doing 2 to 3 karaoke's a day? Like, what is this guy doing? Like, that's how they're looking at me, right?
Yeah.
So I only appreciated your perspective after I made that switch.
Of
because
course.
up until then, I was like, man, why does Hollywood make millions of dollars? Why do comedians, how do they make money?
Yeah.
I was of that.
Yeah.
So I know it bugs you, but I'm just saying, I just don't think they know better because they've never been in that world.
Well,
you know?
of course, but see, that's where I take the look. First of all, the exception that I take comes from just the childish thing of you ain't gonna diss my thing, right? And then it also comes from don't put your thing above mine as if what you do, because again, we both chose to be where we are, right? If you work in a job that you went to school for and stuff like that, now mind you, I can't say that about all people. Some people work in a job they hate,
Right.
you know what I mean? But they're doing it to make
Most
their bills.
people, yeah.
Most people, right? But see, you were going to have to pay your bills regardless. However you pay your bills, I don't judge anybody from the most, from the most legit worker to the fucking drug dealer, to the person that sells bootleg DVDs, to the cigarette person. If you're paying your bills, you ain't hurting nobody. Do your thing. But to tell somebody that, yeah, the thing that you do is less than the thing that I do, hold on, bitch. If we took the mileage of both of us and we put it on a scale somewhere, you might find that my levels hit the same levels yours hit, but the stresses are a little different. You know what I mean? Do I have
Very
a
different.
standard? Do I have a standard boss? Hell no, right? But I still have to deal with the gatekeepers the
Yep.
same way you would have to deal with a boss. I still got to walk on the eggshells. It's just not as in my face every day as it is every day in your office. But to not respect what I do the same way that I respect what you do to make your money, that bugs me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I get it.
Don't
I get it.
don't shit on. We both playing the game. Don't shit on my PlayStation because you have an Xbox.
Right. But I think some people just don't have the mental ability to even understand that in the first place.
Oh, no.
No, I think people want to feel better.
Yeah,
than
exactly. And people want to
That's-
assume
no,
that they
I
chose
think-
the right thing.
I think that's
You know
it,
what I mean?
like what you said before. Like, yeah. I mean, we all have bills to pay. Like, who gives a fuck what people are doing?
Right.
Who gets a funk together? But no. Like exactly what you're saying. Like, yeah, I agree 100%. Like,
Right.
who cares? And that's what
People care. Some people unfortunately care.
I know, but what I'm saying is like, especially after moving to New York for so long, like work for like investment banks and all that crap. Like, it's that's not what's important.
Yeah.
It's not what's important
Some
at all.
people never
like,
realize
nobody cares. But but like it's hard for people to accept that because people put so much worth
Man.
on themselves. They're like, I graduated from this college. I'm working here.
Yeah,
I'm making
but-
this amount of money.
but guess
it's like
what?
if you're not no, that's what I'm saying. If you're unhappy, the hell's it matter?
Well, you're a slave to the rhythm.
You're a slave,
You have on chains. They're gold, but the
Golden
chains.
handcuffs.
They're not even golden handcuffs.
That's literally the definition of
No, golden handcuffs is oh yeah, it is. But that's what I'm saying. No, and I think that's so true. And people like forget about that because I guess like I was saying before, that's why I wanted to leave that job. It's
Yeah.
like you see people, dude. If you're 45 years old, you got 2 kids, you're living in Westchester, you're commuting 2 hours down here, and you're barely able to like you're only saving $500 a month.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I don't feel bad for those people. That's,
I do feel bad for them because they got sucked into a bull crap deal.
I would.
No, they got suckered into it.
I
'Cause
would.
they get
I don't know if I'd
promised.
go that far.
They get promised things.
I don't feel bad for him, and the reason that I can't feel bad for him is because there's piss in my elevator. So
I honestly feel bad for those kind of dudes.
I don't.
I'll never feel bad for somebody that's doing what they feel they have to, right? And these people, no matter how they might have been duped, they came in to do what they felt they had to do, and in some cases wanted to do. Then you get there and you realize it's not what it is. Look, I'm in entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Everybody think that they're going to be the biggest and best and all that stuff. But there's only a couple things promised to you. You're going to be born. You don't know what circumstances. You're going to be born. You're going to live. You're going to die.
Yeah.
Right? I put up a post yesterday about this. Funny enough, I put up a post about this yesterday, and I was like, a lot of people where I come from at my age, we celebrate very like young birthdays, the way that our parents and grandparents would celebrate their 60th birthday.
Yeah.
Because we've seen a good amount of people,
Like the 30s and the 60s. Yeah.
we've seen a good amount of people die.
Yeah.
You understand? That's the type of reality I have to deal with.
But
hold on a
Wait,
second.
let him finish.
Where it's like I had to see, by the time I was 14, my friends started living that other kind of life, some of them. And we have a group picture. If I took a red marker over the motherfuckers that died, it's like 10 of us left out of a group of no shit 40 people. So when you think about that, I have that perspective of where, these were all people that I know to be talented people that had something they were good at. They never got a chance to try it.
Yeah.
To where I think it's a crime for me to have this thing that I love doing. And I'm lucky that I found it when I found it. So I could stick to it.
For sure.
But I kind of feel sad for people who never got a chance to find that, or the enthusiasm that they might have had towards whatever their dream was beaten out of them. Because sometimes it should have beat it out of you. We're all in the way we are because of the pressures of life.
Yep.
Your parents pressure you to do something like shit. You went to the school you went to, and I don't know how much you make as a doctor, but if you told your fucking mom that I'm giving up, I see the apartment and the shoe closet. But if you told your mom, I'm giving up on this to chase this. Oh, Thanksgiving gonna be tense.
So,
You know what I mean?
I haven't given that up, and I'm doing comedy, and she still is like,
I don't know why your mom has an accent.
I'm saying.
So you're a clown now.
literally
what
what
you tell me.
that's literally what she said.
Yeah, I'm just saying 2
They're
things.
begging for the day that I'm going to quit comedy.
Two things I want to say. All right, I also grew up in a urban environment, upstate. Had some friends, passed by like murder and all that crap. And this, so like I get what you're saying. Where like people like couldn't live their full life. The second thing that I want to say though is honestly, I feel like it is sad like that I've had friends that like got murdered and all that crap. Mm-hmm. I honestly feel more bad for the guys who are 45 years old and stuck.
But here's
because dude, that is such
Just like what he said though.
I'd rather but hold on, let me finish.
Yeah, so you have a choice. Like instead of becoming that 45-year-old, you recognize
exactly.
that you made a change, right?
Yeah,
so that's why I don't feel bad because they could make that same realization.
Yeah, but they're just being lied to. I mean, we know so many people. Hold on, one second. Mm-hmm. We know so many people like in college and stuff that were just lied to. They're like, oh yeah, no, get this degree, get this engineering degree. You'll work for this big company. You'll do well. You'll keep moving up, and then they get stuck. They get stuck. I'm saying I do feel like part of my heart does like to those like 45-year-old white dudes who are stuck up in Westchester County.
A long time.
No, 45-year-olds.
Yeah,
I'm just saying
that's a long time.
Those that's the biggest people that kill themselves.
You're telling me you can't take
that's the
10
biggest
years?
statistic.
You're 30 now.
No,
you're telling me between 30 and 45.
I'm different because I made a change in my life.
So why can't they be different?
I know, but what?
Let me interject here, right?
Go ahead. But hold on. Let me just say this. That is the biggest statistic for suicides. Is anybody that's between 40 years old and 50 years old as a white male is the biggest suicide statistic.
Well, here's the thing to that end, right? And here's why it's going to be hard to get people to care about something like that. It's because at no point, no matter how much you're lied to, because it's like if you're a murderer and you were raised to think that murder is right, because I don't see anybody. No, you scoff at that, right? When the last time you felt bad for an extremist?
All the time.
You feel bad for the extremists? You feel bad for the motherfucker?
Black and white extremists. Yeah. No. Nazis, and also like Black Lives Matter extremists. I feel bad for them because I think they're just misguided.
Okay, so then you are different because I don't see how you'll get people to have sympathy for a motherfucker where you could have made some type of choice. If you kill somebody and then people find out that you came from a place where you were told, oh yeah, no, ain't nothing wrong with that. You can do that. And extremists. When I say extremists, I mean somebody like insert ISIS person here. But
so it's normalized.
Right, it's normalized. They were taught that this is the thing to do. Because right and wrong a lot of times is a matter of opinion.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why I feel bad for them.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with you feeling bad. What I'm saying is it's going to be hard to get a lot of people to feel bad for people that are in better financial positions than they are. Because it's like, well, you work 50 hours a week, I work 50 hours a week. I'm breaking my back and sitting behind a desk. I don't got nobody under me. You got people under you. And you work if you're a banker, there's certain connotation that comes with that now. The high rate of suicide, I'm sorry for anybody that takes their own life. But at what point do we all have to, as humans, I mean in general, I'm asking this in this open question, do we have to take the reins of our own lives? Because, like you said, you're different. But you needed to see those people, otherwise you might have never made that choice.
Right.
So instead of feeling sorry for them, because there's something about pity that bugs me, where it's like, there's one thing to feel sorry for somebody, but instead of just feeling sorry for them, find your way to help them find their thing. If that's really how you feel. If that's really how you feel, the best thing that you could do is see somebody that you can talk to, and you can't save everybody, but find that one person that's close to you that's been lied to the way you said they were. And not bring them along because everybody has their own time
path. Yeah.
But talk to them a little bit. Sometimes people need to be injected with a little bit of energy.
Yeah, I think
this podcast is about comedy, right?
No. I like this conversation. No. Hold on. Let me say one thing.
I just fucking around.
No. I think what you're saying is true. Like, right? It's not pity. It's more like people were being lied to for a long time about what their path would look like. And now the realization is starting to set in, and they have the gold handcuffs where like they can't escape. They can't be like, oh yeah, I'll go be a software developer. It's like they're being displaced. And there's no safety net anymore. Like it's literally like, because if they're making 300, there never was one, but I mean, sure shit, there wasn't one for someone making $350,000 a year that gets cut, right? What are they going to do? Move out to the Bronx and move the projects? No.
Well,
right?
I mean,
so no, and and I'm not saying anything like because that's always been like that for like the poorer class, but that's why the middle class is killing themselves because it's disappearing.
They're becoming the rich and the poor, and that's it. And it's destroying everything.
Here's the problem: is that people, because I'm gonna disagree with you when people say that it's always been the rich and the poor. What happened was,
but there was
hold on a second. There's a veil that got put up to where motherfuckers thought you were richer than what you are.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
Yeah, I agree.
I
agree. That's not disagreeing.
I'm making $300,000 a year. So
No.
your property is eating up
They
fucking
don't even own
150.
it. They don't own it. They don't even own it.
Right.
Yeah.
So
That's their choice, though, to live in 150.
No, I agree with what he's saying. Like, we agree. Like, it was a veil.
Right.
It was fake.
But now
there was always only the upper class and everybody else was lower class.
But see, when you start to kill yourself because of this, right? And to the people listening, because I don't feel like getting letters. To the people listening, I'm only talking about specifically what I'm talking about and nothing else, okay? And I'm talking about the people that were duped into thinking that, yeah, I'm missed. Because see, the worst thing you could do is think that you're better than something. Like you just said, what are they supposed to do? They're supposed to go to the projects? Guess what, bitch? Might not be as bad as
okay, but I'm just saying, I literally oversee the Queensbridge projects for my apartment. They put up suicide nets. Because people in the projects kill themselves too.
And that's my point. So they just hold on, wait. They just as dead as the rich motherfucker.
No, they don't allow them to kill themselves.
So
the rich motherfuckers can kill themselves. Because if you look at suicide statistics, it's white males who can buy guns. It's not black people in projects because they literally don't let them kill them. They don't allow them to kill themselves.
I don't see any projects that I know of. I don't disagree with you. I'm sure you did see what you see. I didn't know they had safety nets.
Yeah, this is the first I'm hearing about it.
This news.
Look it up.
I believe you.
Yeah, dude, I look over the Queensbridge projects from my apartment.
Yeah.
They have suicide nets.
Now listen to what you just said. I look over the Queensbridge, whatever, from my apartment.
What the hell does that matter? How does that matter? I don't understand how that matters.
I'm gonna tell you in a second. Just give me a second. So now, the same way that I'm sitting out here now.
It's not this apartment.
No, I'm just making a comparison for you. And I'm looking down and I see all those people going through what they go through. And the fact of the matter is, you're still within very close proximity of those people, right? So when you go, well, what are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to leave whatever is considered to be high class and go to projects, which unfortunately is considered low class? That part always gets me to where it's like, well, A, it's not as bad as you think, and B, that's the fucking problem. It's this posturing of, oh, well, I can't have that. Why?
I agree.
Why can't you have that? Your feathers ain't gonna, if you're a swan, right? You're not gonna be any less of a swan if you leave a box and then get put on display at a zoo. You're not any less of a fucking swan.
Nobody's saying that. That's two different issues. First of all, most of the suicides happen in middle America, where it's mostly white. That's why it's like mostly white people that kill themselves.
Yes.
And the projects, I'm just saying they put up suicide nets because they don't want people to kill themselves.
What he's trying to say is,
I don't think there's anything wrong with going to the projects, but also to get into the projects, you can't go there as a white person.
you don't have to make it like a project.
You can't go. I'm just saying, if I want to move in the projects, I literally couldn't.
To get back to your 45-year-old who you feel bad for, like
dude, you want to look at like pull up fucking the way to get in the projects, like to apply for an apartment.
Oh yeah, the lottery shit.
Yeah. It's all like they don't let white people in.
Well, you need to come and visit Taft because that's definitely not true. But I mean,
yeah. I'm just saying.
But again, just to go back to your biggest issue here with the 45-year-old, right, that you feel bad for. I'm agreeing with what he's saying. If you can learn and make that decision and that choice to be like, you know what, these golden handcuffs are still golden. Like I can go down to silver, maybe.
No, okay. We're talking about two different things. We're talking about the guy who makes $450,000 a year.
Yeah,
and
that guy
crap.
has some
With
choices with his.
What about the guy who makes $30,000 a year in West Virginia?
I'm talking about.
I know it's not, but like those are the people that are killing themselves.
which one, the 400,000 guy or
No,
the 30,000?
the West Virginia guy.
Okay, so because I thought the problem was that the 450,000.
No, I didn't say it's a problem. I was saying like that's a lot of pressure for these people. No. That's why they do like the drugs.
Listen to me. What I'm saying is, I thought the problem was that the $450,000 a year guy is killing himself because he got duped into believing life's going to be a certain way. He's slowly finding out that it's not.
They're killing themselves in a different kind of way.
Okay, so
I'm talking like, if we're talking like suicide, like, that's the people like the Midwest.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
But suicide, because all right, now I think I'm getting back, because I was a little confused for the last little bit. So, at the end of the day, I don't think whatever your net worth is, I don't think you should have to live a life that you hate, right?
Right, yeah.
And I think a lot of times people stay doing something that they hate to appease others. They're not doing it for themselves.
Yeah.
You don't usually stay at a bad job that you hate because of you. You have a family to support, and this is the best way to support your family, as far as you know. There's a chance that you're not willing to take. They can do the same thing you did, but I don't know if you have kids, I don't know if you have a wife, and I don't know what your responsibilities are. A lot of these people, okay, you're married.
No kids though.
No kids.
Yeah.
So you're married. And if at any point there's another whole adult who's probably working that can help bring up the slack. So whereas a lot of these people, they have families, they have children. Children come with a certain number of bills. They got to go to school.
Yeah.
There's certain pressures that are pressuring them. And then if you're a mom and you're working that job, and it's like, I can't provide, you feel a certain way. If you're a dad, you're talking about white males, and they're going through whatever they're going through, that as a guy, if you can't provide, that almost fucking cracks your spine, because it's one of the things that you're supposed to be there to do, is provide.
Mm-hmm.
So on that level, I can feel sorry for you. On the opposite,
That's what I was trying to get
right,
at.
but by that same token, I also know, because I know myself, and I'm even sitting next to you and you yourself, is that the choice is yours. So, irregardless of all the pressures, irregardless of your net worth, irregardless of the job that you have, if there's something you want to try, go try it. And you can do it in conjunction, and it could be the fucking light in the shadow that is your shitty job. That's whether you work at Starbucks and gotta go back to the projects, or if you gotta go back to the fucking house that looks over the projects with the safety nets. Either way, you can break the chain. Or you can wear the chain and still go to where you want to be. You can do both. That's the thing people understand. You can do both.
Yeah, good point.
Well,
Well, man, I don't want to keep rambling for you, but it's not that it's a pure comedy podcast. It's just I like to bring comics on. I like to talk your comedy journey, and then I just like to let the conversation go.
Oh no, I'm down for all that. You know what I mean? I was just fucking around.
Yeah, for sure.
My tone is flat sometimes, so people can't tell when I'm joking. Yeah.
But with that said, we'll wrap this up here, man. I just want to.
I ain't want to wrap it up yet.
No?
Well, how long is your longest podcast went so far?
The longest one, like an hour
Probably.
15.
Hour 15. Where we at now?
We're a little, well, with the sneaker stuff we did earlier, we're a little over an hour. Only reason I say that is because we have another friend coming to do the podcast, but he can just join in. That's no
Ken?
problem. Yeah, Ken.
Yeah, we'll wait.
Yeah, no, Ken's
Yeah,
still.
we keep going.
What else did you want to talk about? Was there something on your mind you wanted to mention?
Oh shit, I don't know, but he started talking about the plight of white males, and that doesn't get
Yeah, I like white people.
Well, he's got to represent, right?
that don't get a
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
of that doesn't get a lot of attention these days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Nor do I don't know. It's like it's illegal for y'all. You know what I'm saying? To just be.
Yeah,
You know
no,
what I
it's
mean?
Dude, I'm
it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I was kind of thinking of a stand-up joke about this.
I like I said, I literally went to college too on a HEOP scholarship,
Okay, what does that mean?
a higher education opportunity program, but it was a Black and Latino scholarship. So I had to become a Black and Latino achiever in high school,
Oh wow.
and I had to go to all these before I went to school.
Are you black and or Latino?
No, I'm not, because it was an income-based program.
Gotcha.
But the state called it that.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I had to be there, and like it was, I had to go all in front of the black speakers with all these other people that got the scholarships, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we got to stick together." I'm the only white guy,
Right.
and I was kind of back like, "All right, cool."
How'd you feel?
I didn't care.
You didn't care? Okay.
I literally didn't care.
I don't know. I think you cared.
No, I think it was
I think
funny.
you cared a little
No,
bit.
I think it was funny. I really didn't start thinking about it until years afterwards. Because I went to like a not predominantly, but like a very black high school. I played football. Like I never really thought about race.
Yeah.
And then but then all of a sudden it started getting pushed in my face. And that's when I started thinking about I was like, oh yeah, I was like all these scholarship programs and like classes.
So now, what's it like? Cause what are you ethnically?
Iranian, Persian.
Iranian Persian. Oh, I got you. Nigga, your hair is going to grow forever.
Yeah, look at this mustache.
And you are
I was white.
Just white. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
German.
So, German. Okay. So now,
Gates.
having said that, I'm curious. What's your take on like the social state of things right now?
I think it's a lot of the media's fault. I think and I understand like the other side, but growing up like in a very diverse.
I love this type of shit, by the way.
Yeah. No. I like that you're asking.
Yeah.
Growing up in a very diverse background, like my cousin, for example, is a coach for the New Orleans Saints. He's played pro football. He's mixed. I've just always been around like black people, white people, like whatever. So I never really thought about it.
Okay.
But now it's being like told I have to think about it. So like for me, I feel like it's unfair because like I don't want to think about it.
Okay, why? Why?
Because I never have. So
Okay.
like I was always just like, okay, yeah, like my cousin's dad is black. I don't care.
But you also hate that you're being described as a white man as the bad
I hate
guy.
being described as a white man.
As a bad guy.
Yeah,
like,
as a bad guy.
Because
Yeah.
I was thinking about a stand-up joke about this. Like when I was growing up, similarly, like it was cool to be white, and so all of a sudden I get older now, and at this age, it's like not cool to be white.
Yeah.
You know
So
what
like,
I'm saying?
I literally just do not think about it at all. I'm just kind of like, yeah, I'm
Yo.
white. Like everybody get over it.
You know what's funny is that because like I hear you say that, right? And what happened in my mind is I just put the last thing you said and the last thing you said together, and this is what happened in my mind. It's the non-white third party. Well, actually, I am kind of white, but just not the way you can see it because you don't get this last name from people that look like me. Believe me. However, it sounds to me like it's when you say like growing up being white used to be cool, right? And now because it's not cool, you hate being described as a white guy. So it's like I hate that you. It seems to me like I hate that you took the cool factor out of my thing.
It's not that. I hate like
No, that's just the way I see it.
No. In politics and stuff, where they're like you know, you have like Democrats and all that crap, where they're like, oh, we don't need like white people in front of the party. Where I'm just kind of like, why are we talking about it like this?
Well,
so that just bugs me.
Right, but see, this is the thing, and just as now, just my perspective on the whole thing. Because I find it hilarious, right? Because the reason why I find it hilarious is like when you say something is happening, and people go for years like, nah, that ain't it, and then it happened to them, and then it's like, oh shit, I don't like this. Like, welcome to the club, motherfucker. It don't feel good, right? So now, I think that the conversation that needs to be had, as far as like white males concerned, y'all need to have a conversation with white women because that seems to be who y'all fight. Because the conversation on white male privilege, that was never the problem. The problem was white male privilege. The problem was white privilege. Okay? And somehow the conversation shifted to where it was just white male privilege. And I speak for black people on this one. We didn't change that narrative. We didn't make that the focus. We didn't make y'all the focus.
I love hearing those style of stand-up jokes too, where like people are talking about how like white women are the most offended of anybody for some reason, and they somehow are carrying the torch for all oppression. All of a sudden, it's like,
well, I mean that aside, right? I'm just saying the people that the conversation needs to be had with isn't because a lot of times people have had the conversation. Like a lot of my white friends talk about how hard it is being a white dude.
yeah, especially nowadays you hear that a lot.
Oh please! And it's like,
I mean, I'm saying when I did, and sorry to interrupt you.
oh good.
But when I was
50th time.
when I was working at this investment bank, I was told to ask different questions for black interns versus white interns.
That's disgusting.
Isn't it?
It's
right?
disgusting.
That's what pisses me off because I'm saying like I don't.
Now, how hard did you fight for it?
I was like, okay.
That's the problem.
Well, what am I going to say? What am I going to say?
And
If it's a directive,
this is what you.
that's why I quit the fucking.
But see, but here's the thing: you quit because in those moments, for you to make the change, especially if you were going to quit anyway, and this is the problem that we have in general, right? And
I was
again,
going to quit. This was years ago. Like I was new.
You was new, you were
Yeah,
young, and you were scared.
yeah.
But again, when we
Yeah.
talk about what the problem is, when you have the ball, right? It's up to you to shoot it or not. So that's like if I'm a new headliner, right? And there's a guy on my show, and the owner is mistreating him, right? And in the moment where I can step in and say something, I don't because I'm new headlining. I want to work this club and I want to keep rising up, right? So I might not say what's on my mind, even though I know it was wrong. You're watching somebody get hurt, or you think somebody's going to get hurt. Even though you know it's wrong, you don't speak out of fear. And that's a problem that we all have. Because you're not the only one that's guilty of that. I'm sure I've had moments that are similar to that. And I should have spoke up, but I didn't. And then you just stop going to those places. But when you stop going to those places, if you were a good guy,
Festers.
now a good guy isn't in that place. Now somebody who might not be a good guy or a good girl is now in that place. And they ready to do that shit. Oh, different questions? Okay. All right. Here's the question for you.
Would you have been okay if I said no, I'm asking the same questions, and then we just hire white and Asian interns, and because no black could do it.
Bro,
would you be okay with that? Honestly, would you be okay with that?
I'm going to answer honestly. I think I've been pretty honest this whole time.
Yeah. I'm curious.
If at any point my answer's long-winded though, they're not just yes or no. If that's the case, cool. Why not? But again, the problem here is it's not that you're asking them because if the questions change, should they not get hired? That's the part that kills me. If they qualify for the job, should they not get hired? But again, we haven't dealt with the problem. Because if the problem is isms, then deal with the ism. You know what I mean? I used to host a show on Vice where I talked to people that worked in the line of work that you were previously at. And the gender wage gap and the racial wage gap. Now, my co-host, Carrie Cadet, she handled the gender wage gap. I handled the racial wage gap. Come to find out, it's deep. It's thick. And people will go ahead. What's it?
No, nothing.
Oh, okay.
I think like
you leaned back and took a deep breath. I was like, it's
well, because
good.
I just.
Gosh,
No, you're good. I mean, we're gonna disagree on this, like fundamentally, which is fine. Well, because I really think it doesn't exist.
I would need to debate the race and the gender age wage gap.
Which is fine. No, I mean, dude, you're allowed to like that. That's what's great about.
Well, no, like you said, he's got a long-winded answer. So
Yeah.
I don't know if we would be able to unpackage the whole thing. But just as a simple answer from my perspective, I don't believe in it as much from both perspectives. Because, for example, the training hospital I was at. Because I can only speak to my experience. In my training hospital, the majority of our trainees were A, black, and B, women. Yeah. And we all got paid the same.
Yeah, 100%.
So I don't know that when you generalize it like that, I don't know if I can get on board. But
this is what I was getting into. And funny enough, I'm glad that just happened. So when you say we fundamentally disagree, you ain't disagreeing with me. I haven't told you what my opinion is yet. Because I'm just telling you what the facts were from the data that they showed us. So when it came down to the gender side of the wage gap, they came to find out that because for some reason we've taught women not to talk about money, right? And they won't negotiate a lot of their salaries most times. You know what I'm saying? And in the non-negotiating, they'll get duped sometimes. They'll take the first thing that's given to them, right? Whereas men, we're taught to fucking go in and negotiate, so we'll negotiate higher for the salaries, what have you. Now, when it came to the racial wage gap, the data that they showed me was that in the same fields, right? Here's what it same field, same experience, and qualifications match up. It was white men, white women, Asian men, Asian women, black men, everybody else. So again, that has nothing to do with my opinion. That was the facts. Now, if you want to know how I feel about it, then
no, not even how you feel about it. Just those statistics, that data. I would want to dig deeper into that data because that data is true to that.
Yep,
I know.
Declaration,
I'm not.
I need to see more of the data.
I disagree with the cause.
Okay, with the looking for the data.
Well, no. I completely agree with like what you're saying, like the data. But like, I think you seem like a smart guy. Like I really am not trying to argue here.
Okay.
But the idea like, oh, we teach men to do this, women to do this, or like it's a conspiracy for like white men to pay white men. Like I don't know. I want to see more data.
I don't think again. I don't think that has anything to do with race. I think that's just a cultural thing because.
But could I just let me finish the thought?
Sure,
real quick. Because how many let's say like how many black people right in this profession, how many of them stay over 24 months?
In which
like anything, any wage that we're talking about. I'm just saying like so that those kind of things could filter in.
Right.
The same way where like I mean it's not like PC, right? But like it's like all right, like if a black person stays in this occupation that we're paying him for only for 24 months, and a white person stays for 72 months, maybe that changes like the average pay. I'm just saying like there's that. I'm not arguing like
no.
but I'm saying like people just reach for race, and it pisses me off.
You don't gotta qualify it, right? To answer a couple of your questions from when we were at Vice and we were doing this, so we're talking to people that had years in their job, so it was the same experience, the same qualifications. So that's where they pull the data from.
So is your thesis or your
my
takeaway is it's a racist?
No. My actual thing is that there's a disparity. Now, if we're going into why is there a disparity, then that's a different conversation. But there is a disparity. So, as to why, I don't know.
It was a disparity also. Okay, so it was like looking at the medicine, right? You said like healthcare. Was it all the same kind of roles?
Yeah, no. These are all people that
all the same roles.
It's like, so you do the job that you used to do at the banking company, right?
Yeah.
So same guy that has the same position at that company alongside you.
Yeah.
And what the pay is, right? And then they went down and they categorized. Okay, well, at these positions, and
Who categorized?
Vice. No, not Vice. This is all data that they brought to us. So we interviewed professionals on this shit. They brought us the data. Right? So when you ask professionals, they would tell us X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z. And that was how it went. So as far as how I feel about it, I don't know enough about it. I think it's somebody that's always fighting to be paid correctly.
Would you be against, so let's say like we have and this is probably a little personal for you, but like let's say we got this kid from the project, right? Mm-hmm. We want to give him a job at Goldman Sachs, right? Just let him get his.
I mean, you give me the job tomorrow, I'll take it.
No, I'm just saying, like we got this kid, right? He's
I'm right here.
Yeah. Well, I can't do that for you, but if you want to come bartend, but he's 21. He could get a job at Goldman Sachs. Mm-hmm. Let's say because it's like an affirmative action program.
Well, the biggest beneficiary
hold on, let me
of
finish.
affirmative action are white women, but whatever.
Well, yeah, they are.
Yeah.
That's proven.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say, but I'm just saying, I ask him different questions, right? I ask him about his life, and then I give him a job. Mm-hmm. He's an analyst. Mm-hmm. I might have a Harvard grad come in. Mm-hmm. He makes 90. Mm-hmm. This kid who I'm giving a shot makes 70. Mm-hmm. Are you against that?
I'm all for the motherfucker getting the chance if they're doing. Hold on, wait. If they're doing the same job.
Same job.
Oh no, then yeah. I don't
so
like
you think they
all.
should be paid the same?
Yep. Because if me and you were doing the same,
and I don't know either.
Yeah. If me and you were doing the same work, if you doing brain surgery, I'm doing brain surgery. Nigga, pay me the same money pay me to go and rate for brain surgery, right? Now, hold on, wait. Now, if you're an exceptional brain surgeon, well, that changes the game a little bit. However, if we're doing the same job, right, then we need to start talking about results. So now, if the results are different, that's one thing. But motherfucker, if we doing the same job, now you don't get more than me.
I agree.
If I step on stage,
I agree.
Because if I step on stage to do my act, because you came to a showcase show, right? Mm-hmm. I was the closer, right? But we're all getting paid the same because we're doing the same allotted time. Now, if I'm doing more time, and if I'm murdering, then my pay don't. If I'm on a showcase show, my pay don't go up. I get paid the same amount as a comic who might have been shitty, but that's because we're doing the same job. We might be doing it to different areas of effect, but we're doing the same job. Now, when effect comes into play, well, then now that's different. Because when I'm going up as a headliner and you're going up as a feature, I'm getting headliner pay, you're getting feature pay. Yeah. Because I earned that right because of my experience and my execution of my work.
Right. So okay, yeah, I agree with that. Because but that's what I'm saying though. But like the base might be for the Harvard guy because he might get the first look at the bigger pay, and they need to attract him from other firms. Mm-hmm. Whereas like the guy coming from the projects, this might be his only shot.
Well, why does he have the Harvard degree?
But hold on. I mean, now you're going to go back into like. I mean, we can go back as far as time.
Yeah, let's see if we can solve this in the next.
Well, no.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm kidding.
Okay, let's say they're both black.
Yeah.
The Harvard kid, black Harvard kid, he made it there. Yeah. He might be first roster, right? Like in any team. Yep. The other kid, he's scooting in. The Harvard kid,
right?
Every other hospital might have like wanted him to go there.
Absolutely. Now, here's my.
And let's say they're both black.
Yeah, both black.
Yeah.
It doesn't change my opinion because again, this is a person problem. The fact that you're white and you're making more than somebody who's doing the exact same job as you don't got shit to do with the fact that it's fucking wrong. You know what I mean? It's still wrong. If I punched you in your face, that's still wrong. If I punch you for no reason, it's still wrong.
Right.
So it doesn't. If you were black and I punch you in your face, it's still wrong.
But are you against capitalism then? Because like if this guy who comes from Harvard, regardless of race, I mean, I'm just saying because they have to make a bigger salary because they might go to Yale, they might go to Cornell, they might go anywhere else. They have to make more money because it lures them away.
Since you asked me, I stand by my answer. If they're doing the same job,
They should be paid the same.
they should be paid the same, despite your degree. Unless we're talking about execution. If this guy is doing the job much, much better than the other guy, well, then that changes things. But now, it begs
Maybe
the
it's
question
assumed because he came from Harvard,
that
it's
he'd be doing a
expected
better
that he'd
job.
be doing
Well, no,
better.
because-
that's bullshit.
No, I agree with that. But
Yeah.
but he might be able to have multiple offers, so they're going to pay him more
Well, then-
because they're like trying to bring him in.
Right, but see now, here's
But
where
then his
it's-
argument is, oh, fuck him then. He can go somewhere
Right.
else. But I got this other guy who's doing the same job and maybe
but
doing
I
it as
mean,
well.
no, I understand your argument.
Yeah.
I get it, but I'm just saying, like, how would
Arguments
you?
are
How would you?
buzzword.
Yeah, it's not an argument.
It's a
Yeah, I
discussion.
understand. I understand your discussion. Yeah. I understand where you're coming from. You're like, if same work, everybody should be paid the same.
Yes.
I just don't understand, like, how would you attract talent then?
Well, that's ridiculous. So this is how you attract talent.
If
If
you think it's all incentive based,
huh?
I
Not-
really like talking to you. By the way.
Yeah, likewise.
It's fun. Yeah.
It's more than just incentive based, and it's more so.
So Ken.
What's up, bro?
How you doing, guys?
Are you a comedian as well?
Nah,
no, he's not.
He's a
He's a funny
writer.
guy, just a funny guy.
Gotcha. Good to see you, bro.
So he's a writer. He's a
Hold
poet.
on. No, we were going
No,
on
no,
something
just
here.
to answer him. But I've been trying to convince him to do stand up because he is very
Working on
funny.
it, man. I'm
Gotcha.
working on
He's
it.
very funny.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that's scared to go.
So-
Like, but yeah, I want to
so-
hear this.
When you say how do you attract talent, again, as somebody that works as talent, right? Now, different kind of talent, but as talent. When you come in, right, and you're talking about it's an incentive based, it depends on what we're talking about, bro. If we're doing the same job, because there's a certain level you have to be at to do the job, right? You come into comedy as an open micer, and there's varying levels of effect, right? Now, as you get better at your job, you leave one level and you go to the next. When you get to that level, whatever the pay rate is, that's what you're getting. When you leave that level and you go to the next one, whatever that pay rate is, that's what you're getting. Then when you get to the position where you can name your own price, now you're cooking with gas, because that's something different. But when we talking these two people coming in, X and Y, and they're doing the exact same job, they should get paid the fucking same. Because despite your degree, you go, how do you attract talent? Here's how you attract talent. Because this is what you get paid. Now show us your effect. After you show us your effect, then we go and we give you a raise.
I
That's how you
understand-
get bumped.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but like, okay, let's look at this.
Oh wait, use yours because
Let's look at this.
Show you
right?
hands are clean.
All right, you're top ACC performer. You're about to be drafted. You're making $10 million. All right,
Yep.
That's the quarterback.
Yep.
All the teams are going to be bending over and trying to get you over there, and you don't even have to sign the contract because
Cool.
you can walk away.
Yep.
You're from Duke.
Okay.
You're making $5 million. There's different potential in both those candidates.
Yeah,
So
but
but I'm saying if you think everybody should make the exact same for every job out of school, and it has to be incentive.
But wait, isn't a rookie contract the same max?
No.
well, here's
No.
what my point is.
No. Well, let me finich.
Okay.
So all I'm saying is like the organization has to invest in you. If you're this guy that's coming in, kind of like from like I said, from the project, like they're giving you a chance, you should your potential is up to the ceiling, right? But if you're this guy that's coming in and he has like 2 MBAs, he's got a doctorate, he's gonna get paid more than you,
Well-
and that's because he could go anywhere.
Well-
You only have this route; he could go anywhere.
Well, this is the thing, and here's why I'm gonna disagree with you. I'm gonna grab this.
Hey, I'm working this.
Right.
grab your bullet.
So, I'm gonna take those two things again, right? Because what happens is that's a very good example you made. It was easy because we changed the rubric because we went to sports. The rubric changed when we go to sports.
But it's not.
No.
sport.
Your principle was correct. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying it's the advanced change because
Well, no, even with someone with multiple degrees, multiple doctorates, he's saying he could get multiple job offers.
Right.
And he
Well-
You go anywhere, so
Well,
you have to.
I'm
The
trying-
organization has to bid for him.
right.
And I know we're not going to agree because we're both like pretty.
Right. Well, look, this is America. We all got the right to be wrong. Whichever one of You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if you're doing the same jobs, that's how you brought this up to me. You said there's two people doing the same job, one's from here, one's from here, and they're both at the same company. If we're at the same company and we're doing the same job, we deserve to get paid the same. Because otherwise, we need to start talking about effect and execution of the job. Now, if I have a bigger area of effect and I'm executing the job just as good or better than this motherfucker, you're giving me money.
I know exactly what your argument is, and I agree. Like, I think when they're there, that should be like monitored. But I'm saying this guy could start here, this guy could start here. But it's unhired. And then this guy, there should be no limits for him. If this guy's not performing, this guy goes here.
Well,
right? I get it. I get exactly what you're saying.
Well,
but I'm saying like at the beginning, because this guy could go to any team.
Here's the part that kills me is that,
God, why is Ken here?
first of all, I want to know why the kid from the projects every time make the one with the Harvard degree, A, and then the fucking
God,
kid,
now we're gonna get into
Hey, you asked him.
then the kid.
No, I know, but we
Then
said we're not talking about like institutional and all that crap.
I'm not talking about racism. I'm talking about.
I didn't say that. You said that.
Oh, okay. You said
I said institutional.
I thought you were gonna say.
I stopped. No, I said institutional, and you finished over.
I could have swore you were gonna say institutional racism.
I was. I want to see if you finished it.
Right. So I'm talking about the white kid from the projects
Uh-huh.
that fucking has the Harvard degree.
Yep.
And then I'm talking about the kid that
I
is
thought we
also
agreed
white.
they're both black during this entire.
Both black, both white, whatever the
Okay.
fuck. No matter the case, that part shouldn't matter. What should matter is when you get the job, if you get the
I
job.
agree. Yeah, we agree with that. Yeah.
So what you're telling me is before you get the job,
Yeah.
this one should be a first look. And this
No,
one,
I'm not saying should. I'm just saying that's how the real world works. Because
Oh,
this
I
guy,
mean,
this
well,
guy's
we
got
all
more
know
offers.
that.
Yeah,
I don't think that's the
then
point of
yeah.
conversation. Though. I think he's addressing
No.
how the real world
Yeah,
works.
yeah.
we all know that.
All right, then yeah, we're in agreement. Yeah, no.
Hold on,
wait.
wait, stop.
I've said that we can rewind the tape. Hey, Jamie, pull it up.
Hold on, wait. You've been present.
I've been there.
You just got here. Now I might be crazy, and I'm a little crazy. But so what I was saying was, we understand. I know that's how the real world works. I would never argue with you on that. Of course, that's how the real world works.
I said that's how it should.
But no, it's how it works. It's definitely how it works. Where it's the Harvard grad, whatever the fuck, it looks pretty, what, blah blah blah.
Yeah, he can go anywhere.
Yeah,
This guy can't.
And the not so Harvard grad, we gonna look at him how we look at him because we're giving him a shot, which is bullshit because he's gonna put in the work. This motherfucker,
Maybe he won't.
not true.
So you don't think there's any
I
stock
don't think you can
in
guarantee that.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
can't
thing.
guarantee
You don't
he'll
think
put in
there's
the
any.
work.
So
You can't get hold on. You can't guarantee that either way.
Exactly.
And that's my
Exactly.
point.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's fine, but nothing's guaranteed, fair. But to his point, he's trying to say, hey, this guy from the projects versus the guy from Harvard. The reason Harvard is because it's a brand that's been built on a certain expectation, a certain consistency, a certain.
You ain't wrong.
Right? So to give someone from that brand, I mean, this is why people die to go places like that because they
Yeah.
want that brand to drive them to be seen a certain way,
Absolutely.
right? Like my application as a doctor was not seen. He hates when I bring it up.
As a doctor.
Because I didn't go to Harvard, I don't get looked at certain places. Period.
Yeah, right.
Period,
But
right?
see, in what kind of medicine?
GI.
are you into?
GI doctor.
You gotta tell me more. I'm comedic.
Gastrointestinal. So that's
Oh, word.
It's like I do
Look.
colonoscopies and stomach stuff, liver, esophagus.
Let
all
me
that.
know if you can take out this ability hernia.
So I don't do hernias. That's
Shit.
surgery.
Fuck.
But what I'm trying to say is, to his credit, I do a better job than a lot of these Harvard motherfuckers.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
Nobody's talking
but
about.
no, we're talking about both things apparently.
Yeah.
But to his point, those certain places would never even look at my application because I don't have that Harvard
Well,
H.
but this is the thing about this conversation, and I hope you know that this is where I'm coming from. Is that both things are true, and both
Yeah.
of us are correct.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm
However-
not arguing. Like what we said before, it's discussion.
However, at the end of the day, as far as what I think is wrong, if, like you said, you don't do surgery, but if you kicking ass, taking names, and you doing it better than the Harvard guy, he shouldn't be making more than you. That's why I have a problem with how teachers get paid. I have a problem with tenure. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
don't pay teachers enough. I feel like they should be making $75,000 coming out of school, and tenure should be taken away because tenure gives a teacher the fucking I suck at teaching, but you can't fire me.
Yeah, you can't do anything.
You raise their money and take away
That's fair.
tenure.
I was just gonna say we got a couple examples.
Yeah.
You know what
No,
I mean?
yeah, public school. Yeah, you can't do anything.
So at the end of the day, I said all that to say this: if you're doing the same exact job as somebody, and they're doing it better than you should get paid less than that person. But if it's equal, then you should be paid equal. But then that might have to change the way that we pay in general.
Not only that, but I think that may just require that you have to prove yourself. I'm going to have to put in those hours and those years doing better than the Harvard guys before those people that turn me down be like, oh, you know what? Now we're
insurance
going
works though. Like you come in as a guy, you come in as a younger person, they're going to charge you more money because you're more at risk. Because all the stats say that you're going to, cost them more money. So if you're coming into a job and you have a Harvard degree or you're some kid out of the hood, which I believe was a setup, I walked in late. Isn't that just like a little bit of insurance? Like statistically, this is probably a higher payoff. So
our entire thing.
I'm going to bet.
They might be doing the same job, but I'll bet on the Harvard
betting
guy.
on this because he's gone through filters. Harvard filtered him. He's
or he can
5
take
steps down
another
the
job.
process.
I mean, I
would you lend money to your best friend or some guy you met on the street? It's kind of the same thing, right?
Nah, because you take a.
It's like how many drinks have I had?
There's something missing there on how people make bets, and that's the gut feeling and relatability, right? But I'm losing my. I had a really good point. So what you're saying, right, about the 2 kids and one being from Harvard and whatnot. 'Cause I think something that you just said, and I think it's a failing from parents where people will go, oh, you got to work twice as hard to be. No, you don't. You just work hard. And you can be just as good as any motherfucker. You don't got to work twice as hard or got to be 2 times better than. Because I feel like that creates something in people that they shouldn't create.
Makes them not even want to try.
But isn't work twice as hard a mentality to beat the way the system's set up? Not that you should have to work twice as hard. People are going to look at you as less, so you have to work twice as hard to overcome that stigma.
Let me give you the example that floors all that. You still at Goldman Sachs?
No.
Right. And this is why I say that. He was at a place where he was probably working 2 times, 3 times, 4 times as hard as anybody else.
No, I really,
harder than anyone.
I want to be very clear that that's on record. It's political.
Okay.
Yeah, it's political.
So you were a shitty worker, fine.
No,
But-
I just hated it. Was politics.
Okay. So when we talk
I
about,
was working harder mentally.
Hold on, listen.
Than a lot of people.
When we talk about the 45-year-old that you feel sorry for, that does work twice as hard as everybody, right?
Yeah.
And he's stuck in that trap, right?
Yeah.
And there's nothing that he can really do. He worked twice as hard as everybody.
Yeah.
He's still trapped like that.
Yeah.
There's no freedom there.
No.
It's nothing but
no.
And
I just don't know what do you mean there's nothing he can do. I feel like if you're
That's what I kept trying to tell him. There is things you can
there's
do.
always something you can do.
No,
Like, I hate my job, and
but
it's
anyway.
like you won't be able to feed
What are
your
you
kids
gonna
that
do?
day.
Okay.
You
Right.
go find another one. I realize there are some people that are in that situation.
Right.
I totally respect that.
But
working
if
at
you-
Goldman Sachs is probably not his
But
situation.
listen,
No. But
I'm more so nixing his point to make.
Oh well, I'm always down for next to this.
Yeah.
Let's talk to me.
I'm throwing
Yeah,
that.
I fight everybody.
Right. I'm throwing that in there just to say there's somebody, because the reason why that guy is so miserable is because he knows he's working 3 times as hard and he's trying 4 times hard. Meanwhile, there's somebody that's just doing their best, is perfectly happy, even in that shitty place that you were in, because they're not overly competing with anybody. They weren't taught that they have to do more than their 100%, because that's something you make people envious that way.
That's
you know
fair.
what I mean? And to what I was wanting to get to earlier, and I'll leave after this, but someone wanted to get to earlier when you were talking about, like, the plight socially of white men today. No, that.
Oh yeah, the highest suicide rates. Yeah. No, it's an eye roll.
I mean, the suicide rate is never an eye roll. Don't get it twisted. What I'm saying more so is when we talk about some of the problems, right? Like you have things like white supremacy and
Does that exist?
Yes.
How many people?
And that are white supremacists?
Yeah, they're white supremacists. In the United States, how many people do you think identify as white supremacists?
In this building? Like,
No. In the country, how many people?
So as I was saying, when it comes down to it,
all right.
And no, because this is what I'm getting to. Because I'm as a comic, I had somebody tell me at college, it was like, hey, don't say anything that might trigger our kids and make me mad. Because it said, you told me I can't say anything joking wise that might trigger your kids, and yet you teach history in this motherfucker. And what's more triggering than any history class when you teach children at a very young age and throughout their school career that at one point certain kids that look like this were over the people that look like this. So at a very young age, you create something in people. You create a sense of superiority. You create a sense of inferiority. And then as they grow up, you'll tell black kids to hear a lot of times, and Hispanic kids, so on and so forth, will hear that, oh, you got to work twice as hard to be just as good as any white kid. Bullshit. You get your 100% the way they get their 100%. You're already just as good. You don't have to fucking, you don't have to feel like that they're doing anything against you.
Do you feel like
Definitely shouldn't be a superiority.
I feel
issue.
that
You're saying they shouldn't teach history in school. Though?
Yeah, I was going to ask you. Do you feel like we should just
history? That's how it
no,
repeats
but
itself.
I get because I've heard this argument before, so I'm curious your take on it. And I've heard some good points for it. Do you feel like we should just scrap that chapter in classes?
I would love to see what it does if you did, because again, when we talk about superiority complexes, you take a kid. Now, I don't know the exact numbers, as I'm not Professor Charles Xavier. I don't have cerebro to click and go white supremacist, white supremacist, white supremacist. And it's not like if you did have those feelings that you will up and identify yourself as that. Just because you do not does not mean that there's not millions of people that feel that way. The KKK took the. Hold on, listen to me. And I'm a dictate right now. Forgive me for that. And when I leave, feel free to tell me how wrong I was. But
it's America. You have your right to be wrong.
right. But at the end of the day, there is that here. And it's not just here. Because you can watch that old lady, Jane Elliott, or whatever her name is, do the brown and blue eye test. It should shock you. Because it puts people right in the position that subconsciously, and no, not subconsciously, unconsciously, that other people are put in. And you should see the way these motherfuckers break down. Because it's not overt. It's never overt. You know what I mean? And most times, no, I'm dictating. Most times, it's not going to be. So when I say supremacy, I'm saying, imagine what that does to a kid. Imagine what that does to a little white kid and learn that at one point in history, whether they agree with it or not, at one point in history, just for the way I look, I was better than this, right? Because of the way it looked. Now, that's something very small that you put in a child's brain. And we all know that microcosms grow as we get older, right? There's something that was put in your brain as a child when you were young, like, hey, don't curse in public or some shit like that, right? Now,
that didn't turn out well, but yeah.
But that principle, it might not be profanity that you're using, but there's a certain way that you speak that you don't feel comfortable speaking around everybody. Like men, something misogynistic, right? You might fucking pull back on some of your views when you're out publicly because, oh, this might seem misogynistic if I say this out loud, and I'm not trying to ruin the party or have people judge me. But again, that's because to be inappropriate publicly was taught to you when you were young, that's not a fun feeling. That's something that you should do. So if I learned that, I don't know. To answer your question, I don't know. I think the results ain't
we talked earlier because I talked about Hia. Do you think it's okay for black people to be like, oh, we got a brother running for president, we're all going to vote for him? Is that okay? Is that okay?
I feel like you're yelling.
No, I'm just curious.
But you're yelling.
He gets passionate.
So yeah, I'm not. But I am curious.
No. I'm equally as passionate, but I'm fucking with you also. First of all,
just yes or no. Is that okay to vote for the color of the skin?
It's never that simple because it's a lot deeper than that. You had people that voted like that, but if you're sitting here and telling me that that's most black people, that's A, false. B, most black people were behind Hillary at the start of the election.
At the start, until she, And then showed up, which election? Are we talking 2008 or are we talking 2016?
I'm talking, fuck 2016, I'm talking Harvey Obama.
2008?
Harvey Obama, yes sir.
Yeah, okay.
So, already, it's not that. Because just because of the skin complexion, it wasn't 100%.
So you're saying black people did not show up to vote for Obama because of the skin color?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, so I'm saying, is that okay?
Is it okay? No, I'm saying that it played a role, but it wasn't the main role. Because
I'm not asking that.
I'm asking, is it okay for people to vote based on skin color, period?
Yeah. Like, could I vote for Trump? Yeah, like, he's a white guy.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's fine.
You don't care?
No. I don't see a problem with that.
All right, there we go then.
Yeah.
That's good.
I'm glad you guys are best friends now. So
I like talking to people. I like talking to people about this kind of issue. It's complicated.
I'm not a hypocrite. It's not like, because one don't go into the other. Because Trump and Hillary were both white. You know what I'm saying?
Well, one's a woman, but yeah.
But again, they're both white.
Yeah.
So now, people are going to go with what they can identify with. Whatever they identify with. Now, all black people didn't vote for Obama. Now, when you go, oh, what about the ones who voted for him because he was black? So what? What about
no, but you just brought up this whole thing about before about identity politics kind of thing, like being like, oh, this is where we are, like as black people. Mm-hmm. So that's I was just curious on your take on it.
Gotcha.
I mean, I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna hate on because I'm not blaming black people for voting for Obama to be like, I just want to see a black person in power in the government.
Right.
I'm not gonna blame them for it because it's like, okay, yeah, like you said, like people want to identify with what they want to see. Right? The same way you have like rednecks and stuff that vote for Trump because they're like, all right, I want to see like a real red-blooded American man.
You got women voting for Hillary because she's a woman. You got racists voting for
exactly.
racists because they're racist. We would vote for kids from our hometown, white or black, just because, oh, that's my boy. Like, he's from my hometown.
I was just curious to hear your take on it. I don't care either way.
I don't see anything wrong with that. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, when we talk about supremacy and inferiority complexes,
do you not say there's black supremacists?
That's.
Are you kidding me? Go to New Orleans.
No, tell me what a black supremacist is. What they look like.
New Orleans. They believe in the 12 tribes of Judah were all African based.
Okay.
Have you not heard this?
Who they hung?
I don't fucking know. Well,
Okay.
I mean, what year? 1887.
Well,
what was the last black person that was hung?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay. What was the last? What was the last?
Where?
What was the last white woman that was raped by a black man?
Last
I mean,
white
if we want
woman
to
that
get
was
if we
raped by a
want to
black-
get into it.
I mean, last white woman that was raped by
I
a
mean,
black
if you
man.
want to look at FBI statistics, we pull it up.
I'm not the New York City blotter, but if we're going to do that, what was the last black man that got out of jail on a false accusation of a white woman saying that he raped her? What was the last
I mean,
black...
if I can pull up the FBI statistics right now.
What
if
was
you
it?
want.
Well,
Sounds like you guys
You're
want
both
part
right.
two.
Like, people do terrible shit. White guys got in and out of prison. White
no,
guys are
no,
raping
no,
black.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
everyone's
no,
just
I-
half the
look,
country's
Hold
fucked.
on, I'm not saying anything's wrong with like having a black supremacy idea. I'm just saying there are those groups.
I'm
the
sure.
12 true tribes of Judea.
okay.
Is a huge black
For every group,
It's
there's a
mostly
hate
the South.
group.
Yeah.
Whether
But
it's
I'm
blacks,
saying,
whites, Jews, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But what I'm
We
saying,
were talking about
big
extremists earlier. This is just
God, you know,
about-
I like him, and then we start disliking each other. Yeah, no, I like talking to dude, because it's hard to talk to like actual like black people about this kind of stuff because people get so fucking passionate.
I mean, I'm very with stuff like this. My passion is like very even. Yeah.
Well, passion for resolution, because if you're yelling at
Well,
each other,
right.
you're not going to do anything. If
Well,
you have
right.
passion for resolution, you have a
But
conversation.
this is what I'm getting to, and I guess I'll close on this now. But what I was getting to when I talk about, because the question that you asked was reactionary, where it was like, well, what about this? No, I'm not saying that stuff doesn't happen, right? What I'm saying to you is, because then it becomes a game of tit for tat, right?
I agree.
That's what just
I
happened.
agree.
And instead of dealing with what's being said, when I say there's definitely white supremacy in America, you look at the tribalism that's happening right now. Right? Because people are getting treated a certain way. Should look at how defensive you are on the topic. You understand? Now, this is new
I agree.
to you now, to
No,
where
it's not new.
it's reality. It's new to you in the last 15 years.
No.
In the last
okay.
15 years.
Yeah.
To whereas I'm 25 years old, and this same stress that you feel right now, my entire
I don't feel stressed.
life.
I'm not stressed.
Whatever.
You look stressed.
You look stressed.
Well, I know because like I don't get to talk
the
to.
fucking the eyebrows on your glasses. So
Right.
whatever uncomfortable feeling that you have, understand for most people that might not look like you, that's their norm that they have to deal with. Do you know who Jane Elliott is?
I don't.
When you get a chance, when you get off this, watch the brown versus blue eye test. And it may or may not change your opinion on shit. But you should definitely watch that. Especially with as passionate as you are, you should watch that 10 times. Watch it with your pants off. Because the shit might arouse. It's that potent.
Because first of all, that's why I watch everything.
Because a lot of what I think is happening now is people feeling feelings that were never on them as a blanket that others have felt forever. Because like even when you mentioned what you mentioned about what did you say?
Yeah.
Who's the last? No. The last black guy to rape a white woman. And the thing about that is, right? If we go,
Didn't happen.
no.
Just proving it did doesn't do anything for the argument.
Right. But see, this is what I'm saying is that
We'll pull up the stats.
when you say something like that in reaction to something, we lose out on a lot of history, right? And I know motherfuckers hate when people go historical, but a lot of black civilizations post-slavery were decimated and destroyed on what later was proven to be false accusations for that exact kind of crime. In fact, one of the reasons that the Klan came back to fucking, fruition was that a movie came out called Birth of a Nation. And
Yeah, we all know Birth of a Nation. D.W. White.
and whoever it was made a movie and a white
that was
dude
like,
with blackface.
but we're talking about something that happened over 110 years ago.
Bro, we talking about racism in
All
general.
right. I'm just
which
saying.
is
So
older
wait.
than that.
I understand, and I appreciate your like closing arguments. I just want
Like this is a trial.
No. I literally want to. So you deny that there is a shit ton of black on black crime and black dudes raping white women in the U.S.
I didn't know.
It's over like 20 times more than any other race.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Okay, we'll pull it up. I mean,
No.
Yeah,
I gotta pull it up.
Yeah,
I don't gotta.
but I mean, if
act like I don't believe you.
Okay.
But as far as black,
but I mean, but why push that? Why? No, I'm just asking. Why punt that?
why punt what?
That statistic.
Which one?
The amount of white women that are raped by black men and the amount of black on black crime.
Mm-hmm.
That's so much more than like white on black violence.
Right.
Like why punt?
Mm-hmm.
Why not be like, there is something wrong like at like this culture's core.
Mm-hmm.
Like why punt?
I still don't know what why punt means, but I guess what you're asking me is like, why not focus on
Those
thing?
problems.
Right. Who you think is angriest about black on black crime? Who you
Apparently
think
not
is
black. Apparently not black people, because we hear Black Lives Matter and they're like, "Oh, whites are killing blacks." And
You
it's like,
sound
it's
okay. Now here's
it's
where
so-
you sound ridiculous, and I'm gonna cut you off
All right,
completely
go ahead,
right now.
go ahead,
Right?
go ahead.
Here's why you sound ridiculous. The whole thing about Black Lives Matter don't really got shit to do with white people. I don't know where that jargon came from. You need to read more because it comes from police being able to kill us. Now, at the end of the day, the cops that happen to be in these cases are white. Right? But that's just a part of it. They keep getting off for killing us on fucking camera for not doing shit, right? Now, here's the fucking sad justice of the black on black crime that you're talking about, right? It's street justice. To where if you killed me on the street and the streets talk, we find out who you are, at the very least, somebody's going to try to get back at you. At the very least.
Sure,
Or,
okay with that.
let me finish. Or you're going to go to jail, right? One of the other is going to happen. Now, here's the thing. When a cop kills, if God forbid, if a cop killed me, if I walk out this very nice building, the cop blows my fucking brains out, we know he's going home. And that's the problem. How many times are you going to be able to kill our children? And we talking about, it's not even just the cops. You take somebody like a George Zimmerman, who's not a cop, and was dead fucking wrong, and got off. How many times, again, can you keep putting that in front of people's faces? Because when it's us, nigga, we know you going to jail, or we know you going to get killed in the street. We know one or the other is going to happen. So there's going to be a resolution to this, as opposed to the other side, when you kill us as taxpayers, and you're just right for it. Hold on, wait. Tamir Rice was killed within 2 seconds of the fucking cops pulling up, and they got off on that shit. Under no circumstances is that right. So when they go Black Lives Matter, it's because when it's black on black crime, that gets resolved. Period. When it's them killing us, not only does it not get resolved, but they'll tell you to your fucking face that your 11-year-old was shot and he deserved to be shot. And they're telling you that over and over and over and over again. And it's not just cops. When we kill each other, it doesn't seem to be a problem because the person that killed them is gone, the person that died is dead, and the person that killed them is going to jail. Or it gets handled in the street. But most times they end up going to jail.
Why does this not happen in other communities?
Huh?
Why does this not happen in other communities?
I mean, it does, but it's not.
No, it's not Mexican rapes. It's not white on white crimes. It's not Asian crimes. I mean, it's not. It's not. It's literally not.
But I feel like you're arguing a whole different thing now. Like,
Right.
No,
this
I'm
whole-
not. I'm arguing the fact that like black crime is like it's a very cultural thing.
I mean, that's like
You already
wait.
said like we take care of our own. Like if somebody shoots somebody, it's street justice.
Are you saying the other cultures are being taken care of? And
Hold
that's the only one that's
on,
not
wait.
being taken care of?
Because here's the problem, right? We're talking in response to America, because I bet you in China it's Asian on Asian crime like a motherfucker.
Because China almost has
99% Asian on Asian
Okay, I
crime.
mean, if we want to pull statistics, Japan almost has the
So-
lowest murder rate in the world.
You're right, but
And,
I
like, you
don't
look at-
think I said Japan. But
Okay, China does too.
But even
Right.
Japan, like if one dude murders another one, the overall
you're
statistic
right,
is
you're
low,
right.
but
We'll
it's
just
still
take
100%.
100%. I mean,
No.
I'm saying black communities always have a problem with gang violence.
With
like you're
gang
saying,
violence.
they take care of each other, which is fine. But like you can't just like wash that shit away.
okay, but we're
No
not.
one said we're watching that.
But and that's
But he's saying it's like we take care of each other.
no,
you
you totally
completely
missed.
missed my point.
Yeah, you
Alright,
missed
alright.
what
what
I
you saying.
said to you is that who's tired of black on black crime the
What?
most
He's
is us.
going.
right? We're sick of it the most. Because it's the only bullshit argument that you motherfuckers keep bringing to our table.
Me, motherfucker. I'm not being
No. This is the only
Stop being so
bullshit
defensive.
argument.
No, he said he called me motherfucker.
No, he didn't
said
call
y'all
you a
motherfuckers.
mother. Yeah,
I'm
he
putting you
just
in
generalized.
quotes.
Okay.
I'm putting an umbrella. You motherfuckers come with the same bullshit argument that would never apply the opposite way. And let me tell you what I mean. Again, when it's black on black crime, the one thing that happens, this is why the Black Lives Matter thing is even a thing, is because there's resolution at the end. When you see, because I want you to also look up how many of those black on black crimes go unsolved. It's not a lot. Because for all the research you did, not once did you say that most of these cases get solved. And at the very least, they have suspects.
Southside Chicago is mostly
So
unsolved.
now-
It's mostly drive-bys.
But yeah, that's
The big majority of them are drive-by shootings.
again, if you want to you can keep filtering it to find.
I'm not
worse.
filtering. I'm saying
But-
that goes in the FBI for the national average of
Right.
the amount of black men that
But
are
you're
killed.
talking Chicago, and I'm talking about if you take everything as a whole, right? And you talk about resolution to a crime, you have people that are going, yo, we need this shit to end. That definitely happens. However, on the opposite side, there is no resolution over and over and over again when they're overtly wrong. Overtly. I can't tell you how many times, and I'm not a police officer, of course, but they'll put it on the news. You'll see a kid get shot to death when he definitely wasn't in the wrong. And then they'll go through the whole litigation of the shit, and they'll go, yeah, not guilty.
Do you know how many times a kid is like, or a family, or like a mother is shot in a drive-by in Southside Chicago? That doesn't get media attention because black on black crime. Nobody cares.
We agree.
Yeah, I agree.
We agree
That's
on
what I'm saying. Like that's what's
But-
bullshit to me, though.
but
And,
again-
but people are like, I understand, and I do really appreciate that because I think that was a really good take on the Black Lives Matter thing. Mm-hmm. I think that was really smart. Like, because I hadn't thought about it that way. Mm-hmm. So that was good.
That's all I'm
But
trying
yeah.
to say is like that's
Yeah.
a whole different
No,
argument.
I know, but
than,
yeah, no, but
you know.
that's the argument that pisses me off. Is like people get pissed off about like white and black. Like they're like, oh, white people don't like black. And it's like, no, it's not. Like,
It has nothing to do. And again,
Yeah.
I don't know who told y'all this shit. It has nothing
well,
to do.
yeah, the media. That's why the media is fucking.
Well,
that's why
then
you gotta
y'all
turn off your TV.
Then y'all need to go talk to the media because
Yeah,
again, that was
yeah.
never the problem in the first fucking place.
By the way,
but-
you've been so passionate about this. You notice like I'm against the fucking door now. Like,
Right.
You've been
You
pushing,
you done said 2 words.
yeah, you've been pushing the fucking desk over here.
But at the end of the day, that was never our jargon. We never said kill cops. We never said none of that shit.
Well, some people
It's
rallies
all,
have.
Nah, it's
What do you
all
mean
that
not?
shit.
There's video of people saying.
Yes, but again, that's like if I brought up.
I agree. I think that's bullshit.
That's like if
But,
I said
people
that
have.
shit about nationalists and said
Yeah,
they
yeah,
were the
yeah,
norm.
yeah,
They're
yeah,
not.
yeah,
You're talking about
yeah.
a very small percentage of shit, and they'll hike it up and show you the 3 people that were like, kill the cops, kill
And
the
you
cops.
agree with me as like a right wing guy. Like
Now-
we get labels as Nazis and all this shit and the white supremacists, and it's like that's not what we really believe.
No, not at all. But again, if you take something and you throw it in dirty clothes, if you take a sock and you put it in dirty clothes, when you pull that sock out again in a week, that shit's gonna be dirty because it's only been around dirty shit.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, even your mind and your because it's not an aggression, but the passion that you have in response to because your words are damn near pointed. You know what I mean? So you go, what about the Black Lives Matter thing? And it's like, how can you be that misinformed as somebody that knows so much?
That's true.
Seemingly about the
That's
thing.
true.
To where, how could you ever think the only person that's more angry about black on black crime than a black man is a black mother?
Well,
Because
okay,
she loses her kids to this shit.
Yeah, right.
So if you going, yo, why don't they say Black Lives Matter when it's black on black crime? That's because we have to live and fight against the black on black crime. We're dealing with that. But now, most of those are like criminals and stuff like that. I look for a criminal to be a fucking criminal. Okay? I look for a killer to be a killer. I don't look for a cop to be a killer.
Right.
I don't look for a cop to murder my fucking kid.
Yeah.
Then murder him in front of me. And then you tell
away with
me
it.
that when my kid is obviously right. And even when it's not a cop.
But even that kind of stuff.
Oh
though,
shit, it took me a minute to realize those weren't actually his eyebrows, my God.
But even when you think about, it, I mean, most. Like,
That's been the most
a lot of
hilarious
cops
thing about
do-
your passionate discussion because you're like pointing all these questions at, looking like this.
Yeah.
No,
hilarious.
I'm just saying, like a lot of cop crimes too are. I mean, some of them you just have bad people out there.
But again, if you're going to keep protecting the bad people, at what point is it going to stop us from going? Because this is the thing, right? And a war. Hold on, let me finish this. Because a war hasn't broke out, right? Thank God. But now, if you don't punish the cops that are just killing people. And it's not just us. Because here's another thing that they don't tell you is that because did you like the All Lives Matter shit or you weren't with it?
I really am not.
I'm asking.
In it. No, I'm no.
Right. So when the All Lives Matter thing happened, here's what bugged me about that is that you're all a bunch of hypocrites. You don't really think all lives matter because the little white boy that got tased to fucking brain death. Black Lives Matter showed up for him. You ain't seen it on the news, of course. Black Lives Matter showed up for him. You ain't seen none of All Lives Matter sign no fucking where. When the white boy that the cops body slammed,
but what
they
about
showed
like
up for him.
but there's definitely been times where like who's the guy selling?
There's definitely been times. I'm sure.
Yeah, well the Lucy's guy.
Eric Gardner, he
Yeah.
got choked to death.
Yeah, where he got choked to death.
Yeah.
He was a punk. Or also the guy that walked in and stole the shit from the bodega.
Okay,
The big guy. What the hell was his name? Actually, no, what was his name?
Michael Brown.
Was
Not
that
Michael
it?
Brown.
Yeah, Michael Brown.
Okay, so here's the thing.
But I'm just saying, like those. So look, the cops. Let me finish this.
Okay,
the
please.
cops screw up all the time.
Yeah.
I agree, dude. I've been arrested for. I was handcuffed to a jail cell for an hour for jaywalking.
Right.
Just because I mouthed off to a cop.
What state were you in?
New York.
Oh, you talk a lot of shit. If you got,
Yeah, no, man.
you
yeah.
would be.
Well, to be fair, he threatened to fart in his face. So
Yeah.
I think that
well,
was-
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, well,
but
I
all
mean-
I'm saying is like you have these bad cases where people rally around.
dog.
Okay, we can disagree, but I'm saying Gardner was told multiple times to stop selling Lucy's. Was the cop aggressive? Yes. He was out of shape though. He fucking died. It's bad. But I'm saying he was told not to do it multiple times, and the cop has to.
What,
hold on, and then let's go to the other one, Michael Brown. There's footage of him bullying that Indian bodega owner. He walked in, he grabbed his blunts, and he like threw the guy, and then he goes out.
Okay, so
And then every single independent person, because it was such a big case, came in and they were like, "All right, yeah, you tried to grab the cop's gun, and we can see all this going on."
okay, so to both of those things, right? We'll start with Eric Gardner. You said Eric Gardner's a punk. I'm not going to say anything like that because he still has kids who could listen to this podcast and gotta think about shit like that. I don't think they would want to think their slaying dad was a punk. Just like if God forbid your dad was killed, you wouldn't want anybody to say that.
If he was being a punk, I'm sorry.
I got you. It's a cold way of living. Anywho, fucking. That's like somebody saying, yeah, those girls that went up to Cosby's room knew he was fucking married.
No, it's not the same at all.
No, let me tell you why it's the same. Because you get to be a punk, you don't got to die for it.
Okay, if
You get to be rude, you don't got to die for it. You get to jaywalk, and you shouldn't have to go to jail, but at least you get to live. I shouldn't be allowed to kill you, and my life's not in any immediate danger. They choked that man to death with a choke that was already illegal. That's the first problem. Somebody should have went to jail just for that. But the fact that he told you that he couldn't breathe. So you mean to tell me under any circumstance, fuck his shape, death, the punishment don't fit the crime. So
I agree.
you supposed to
no.
wait, let me finish up. You're never supposed to die for selling cigarettes.
I agree.
Period.
I agree.
Oh, the cops.
But
the cops.
the argument, I agree. 100%.
Then why'd you bring it up? Like, what about
No,
this?
because it's not like they went up and shot him in the head.
No, they choked him to death.
No,
That's almost
no.
worse.
He jumped on him because he was like, "I've told you." It was a cop. He was a beat cop, and he was like, "I've told you multiple times you are not allowed to sell these Lucy's on the street." And the guy was like, "Get out of my face! Get out of my face! Like you're a bitch!" Like he was with it. No, and the cop went up and tried to choke him. And he's like, "I can't breathe. It's not like they executed him.
So you're saying it was an accident?
It was an accidental death.
Again,
and his argument is that
you shouldn't have. I shouldn't.
I know
choke
he shouldn't.
You.
Right? It's a bad. It's
no.
bad.
Under
outcome.
no circumstance. Fuck the outcome. Under no circumstance should I put my hands on you. For you, if you were going to.
Would you rather him tase them?
Huh?
You want him to tase him?
I would have rather them left him the fuck alone.
Why? If he's currently and he had already had multiple citations, and the cop is like, "Dude, I've told you can't do this," and he goes, "Get out of my way."
For the same reason.
And he like swipes at the cop,
For
and he's
the
like
s-
half the size of the cop.
For the
Or
same.
double the size. Of the
For
cop.
the same reason that I don't think you should have had to fucking spend a night in jail for jaywalking and talking shit.
But if it's multiple times, like at
'Cause-
a point, it is illegal.
Because
it is illegal.
Because there's levels to shit. I don't think a man should die.
Nobody
via its-
thinks he should have died.
Well-
but we're acting like it was an execution. It was an unfortunate circumstance.
Did the man say he couldn't breathe?
Yeah, and then he let him go.
And were
he died of a heart attack.
And were they-
He was 450 pounds.
Oh, gotcha. You know what that sounds like? That sounds like motherfuckers go, oh,
I'm saying,
yeah,
let's sell.
we killed the guy, now here's his past. He showed up late for 4th grade 3 times.
No, it's he had way too many Fritos in his body. Like, I mean, dude,
Right.
he was fucking.
But the choking.
Wait.
is what caused-
Okay. What would you think the officer should have done? Just left him alone?
No,
Completely?
if you're going to arrest somebody, arrest them.
He waved him off. You can watch on the footage because they recorded it. He went up to him and he was like, "All right, we gotta bring you to jail." And he hit at him.
Yeah.
So what do you want to do? Tase him?
Do it.
That might have killed him too.
Do what you gotta do. That's not killing them.
That's what. But I'm saying, like.
Well, to his argument, then, like, what if they? How about this? What if What if they did everything right?
When last time you talked to a cop, bro?
That's my talk.
No, I know cops are
Let
dicks.
me
so-
finish. When last time you talked to a cop?
Actually, I can't remember.
Right. When last time you talked to a cop?
A couple months ago.
A couple months ago, right? How was your experience? Were they
No,
pleasant?
they're dicks.
They're dicks, right?
Yeah.
So wait. So now they're dicks. You're a grown man. They're a grown man.
Yeah.
And they talk shit to you.
Yeah.
Right? And if somebody talking enough shit to you, you'll get agitated. Same
Yeah.
way they'll get agitated.
Yeah.
I get to choke you? No. I don't think under any circumstance somebody should die over something.
I
that could've been
agree
handled
100%. He should not
a
have
lot
died.
different.
He should not have died. I
And-
just don't know what the outcome would have been.
Well, what do you think of Tamir Rice then? A kid who's murdered.
Oh, that was bullshit.
within 2 seconds.
Well, yeah, that was because
Oh, cops
he was
showing
playing
up.
with a gun, right?
Like
a toy gun.
Yeah, he was playing with a toy.
Toy gun. Yeah.
But-
That was what, South Carolina?
I don't know, but you killed a kid. You killed Freddie Gray or whoever it was that was running
That was
away,
Freddie Gray.
and you shot the man
In the back. No,
And-
those ones, dude. I'm totally on your side. These
So-
ones, I think, are a little more gray.
But no, because it starts down the line because George Zimmerman isn't even a cop, and he free as hell.
Yeah.
You feel me? So,
But this one is just one of the ones where I struggle with it. I know.
I understand the nuance
I
he's
understand-
talking about.
I
'cause-
understand
'cause
your
let
argument.
me give you a counter argument. So let's say he had the heart attack, but while he was being properly handcuffed, what would your argument be there?
Or if he was
he just
tased.
had a heart attack.
Okay.
Because
Or if he was
that's
tased.
completely different because you're not losing any air. They're not forcing you to lose any air. You know what I'm saying? And you can't tap out or anything like that. If I'm handcuffing you, you just get handcuffed. I don't got my fucking hands around you, bro.
Yeah.
That's
No,
like,
I get what you're saying, but he did swipe at a cop.
well, okay, well, even if I swipe at you, I shouldn't die.
I agree.
Right.
I agree.
So the fact of the matter is somebody died.
Yeah.
Now, the man died and there was no punishment for it. And that's the problem. Because what I was saying earlier is that you make the uniform the fucking enemy instead of the bad cop. And you'll have motherfuckers that are out here hurting people that are in the uniform instead of just prosecuting a bad cop. Cops have a hard enough fucking job having to deal with people. There's a sensitivity that they don't fucking possess. And there's a fear of black males that they have. And they get to play the shit up, oh, well, I'm just trying to get back to my family. Well, motherfucker, I'm trying to get back to my family. So, do I then have the right, if I carried a gun, to shoot at you because I'm trying to get back home the same way you got one to shoot at me?
Right.
Because if so, then what happens now?
Yeah.
You create a fucking war. And the thing is, I don't expect you to be the thug. I expect you to go after those.
Right. Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
So, that's where the disconnect is.
I mean, that's
why
the things. It's like Boys Night Out
ooh, good luck editing all this shit, bro.
What the fuck is the name of the director that just died? Boys in the Hood.
Yep.
Yeah. No, that's the same thing where the black cop throws him on. He's like,
Or watch Menace to Society and see
Menace to Society is my shit.
and see
That was
Bernie
way better
Mac.
than Boys in the
Oh,
Hood.
you guys agree on something? This is great.
Yeah, and see.
Call it. Shut it down.
Resolution.
Happily ever after.
Pleasure talking to you, sir.
You too, man.
All right.
Yeah, Nico, on the For Real, now is the time to plug your stuff
Okay.
as an outro. Why don't you tell the folks where we can find you again?
Gotcha. So my name is Neko White, and you can find me at my website, nekowhite.com. That's NEKOWHITE.com. You can find me on Instagram at NekoWhite93. That's NEKOWHITE93. If you disagree with any of my views, keep that shit to yourself. I tell jokes, bruh. I don't have time to deal with whatever your personal opinions are. We can talk about that at a bar somewhere after the show, but don't come into my inboxes or anything like that telling me what you think about my political views. All right?
All right. Thanks for calling again, man.
No doubt.